Good afternoon, everybody. Twitch is being fantastic this afternoon, isn't it? Fucking hell. I've switched to a different Twitch server. Hopefully that will solve the problem. And I'm waiting for it now to crash again, just to prove me wrong. Because that'll be when it does it, if it does it. So far, so good. Just been setting things up, eating my lunch. A very late lunch today, unfortunately, but yeah. Packet crisps and a Kit Kat, basically. And drinking this cup of tea. While I watch Twitch continue to fall flat on its arse. I don't know what they've been up to the last 3 weeks or so. But they don't seem to be able to go like 2 hours without fucking breaking something at the back end. It's incredible. Don't know what they're up to, but yeah, I need to get it fucking sorted. It's getting ridiculous. Right, well, I'll go through the list of people here. Hopefully they're still here. We've got Boomer Dog, Boy Wonder, Cujo, Kerma, Carthom, FSXP3D, M Baldy, Dawn of the Dave, Mickey. Why don't you fly this leg in the Concorde X? Because we're doing this with British Airways Virtual, and this is not a Concorde flight, it's a 777 flight. So that's why we're doing it in the 777. You can change your colour? Yeah, you can change your colour in the chat. It's a thing. MDA poll. Oh, there it goes again. Fuck me. Really? Well, for those of you watching this at home on the YouTubes, because this is still recording even if it's not streaming, hello. How you doing? It's just you and me now, guys. Just wait for the stream to come back up, which I think it might have just done. I've changed network adapters just now. We'll see if that makes a difference. If not, I'll just restart my router. I'd rather get this out of the way right now, on the ground, to be honest with you, before we actually, you know, get in the air and that sort of thing. To be fair, if it's going to happen, it might as well happen now. Giant Unicorn, hello! Hello, sir, welcome. And first off, it's J-Aways as well. Right. If it goes down again, routers getting, you know, orders to commit seppuku and will be replaced. But, well, so far so good. Anyway. So, welcome everybody. This evening I need to step out for a bit, so we're doing another long haul jobby. Same drill as per usual. We'll get up in the air, hang around for a bit, have a chat. We've got some cool stuff to talk about anyway, so, and then I'll fuck off, and I'll come back for the approach, which will be later tonight. Which means I won't be doing the ACG campaign tonight, because as I said, I've got to go out. I have done a wriggles, and I've managed to persuade a friend to do some of the position reports for me, luckily. So we should be good on that front. Oh, really, really, really frustrating though, I gotta say. Can't wait to be. Oh, yeah, it should be the other way around, shouldn't it? Let me fix this before Mungo turns up and has a go at me. Right. Edit command. Flight. We'll call it Bermuda to Gatwick in the 767's fat cousin. Kappa. Edit com aircraft the beige beast. And that just about does it. Route will just have an empty response because I'm not on VATSIM at the moment because fuck oceanic procedures. Especially if I'm away from the PC. Now commence the awkward silence. I'll bring the noise from the sim back in. There you go. We're in real time today. We're in real time as in not scheduled flight time, because scheduled flight time takes us off in the dark and lands us in the dark, and fuck that shit, especially after last time, to be honest with you. I want to see the scenery during the daytime. Since it's highly unlikely I'll ever come back here on account of the runway lights being broken, so... 777 wasn't affected by the hurricane. We're in Bermuda, mate. We're really far north. Like, we're way north of the Caribbean, so there aren't any hurricanes within 1,000 miles of us right now. You're probably confusing it with the Bahamas. Where this isn't the Bahamas, this is Bermuda. Uh-oh. Okay. Every time the stream buffers on my other monitor now, I panic because I think it's about to die. Oh well. Can you believe I'm streaming wirelessly right now? I'm using the Wi-Fi, and it's actually turning out to be more reliable than my fucking network cable. That's funny, really, isn't it, now you think about it? I mean, because... You know how people who know nothing about computers always say when their internet's being weird, oh, maybe it's the cable. I think actually it might be the cable for once. What are the chances? Yeah, I've got a new one anyway, tucked away here somewhere. I'll have to fucking, you know, do the rigmarole of unthreading the bollocksing thing from behind wardrobes and things and get the new one in. So yeah, never mind anyway. Right. Oh, I'm going to switch you over to webcam view, but I will warn you, I have not corrected the colours and stuff on it, so I'm probably going to look like an Oblivion NPC, like my face is going to be glowing like I'm God or something. So, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's not too bad, actually. It's completely fine. That's the only time it's ever done that. Normally, like, you load it in and the contrast and brightness is all completely off. Well, we'll leave it alone for now, then, I suppose. Yeah, it looks good to me. Colours are a bit desaturated, but that's okay. Not a problem. Hello everybody, how are you doing? Happy Sunday. I nearly forgot what the day was then. And the scrolling text jobby is also incorrect. Let me fix that. Oh dear. Our call sign is Speedbird 2232. And I just need to swap these around basically. TXKF. No, KF. And then Echo Golf Kilo Kilo. Hello! Job done. Fantastic. I was drunk that I get at Cosford. I wasn't there for the whole weekend, uni. Otherwise I would be still hungover probably right now. Yeah, no, I had to go at pretty much the end of the show. So I wasn't staying at the hotel or anything. I'm literally within like an hour's driving distance of Cosford. There was really no fucking point in me wasting money on staying at the hotel other than to just get drunk with some of the others, which admittedly I might do next time, but yeah, this time I didn't fancy it. They've needed tan. Well, yeah, good luck getting one in the UK this time of year, eh? I'm not Wriggles. I don't do bottles of fake tan. Anyway, how are we all doing? Welcome to Bermuda in the daytime this time. Fantastic, eh? So yeah, as I said, we're way far north of the hurricanes and stuff, so don't be expecting anything that dramatic. Although there is a big fucking storm in the North Atlantic right now, which I might pass on the way across, but I'm probably only going to skirt reasonably close to it, and we'll be above it as well, and there'll be nothing to see really, and I won't be streaming them in any way because I'll be, well, I'll be like halfway through the flight, so. But anyway, this is what it looks like in the daytime. Oh, we can actually see the taxiways and runways. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Which is nice. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad in the light of day, does it? Actually, the scenery, it's not bad. It's all slightly blurry photo for the ground and stuff like that, but yeah, no, it's quite good. Quite good considering it's pretty fucking old and it's designed for FSX. So yeah, it's all right. It's just yeah, don't try landing here at night because you might as well just try and land on a carrier with a blindfold and ear mufflers because that's how bad, especially on that runway with no ILS approach. We took the RNAV, and the RNAV turned out to be like, you know, a few dozen meters off of where it should be, so... Which is typically the case, I think, in Flight Sim a lot. I've noticed that I hate taking RNAV approaches in Flight Sim because they always tend to be a bit off. Because of scenery and stuff like that. Yeah, I know it's a 777, not a 767. What? I didn't call it a 767. What is wrong with you? Reading Comprehension COD Pro. It's a thing. Seriously, like, actually read it. It literally says Bermuda to Gatwick in the 767's fat cousin, not in the 767, me boy. Anyway, I purely put that in there to piss off Mungo, so... When he gets here. I think he's streaming right now, actually, to be fair, so... What kind of a bizarro question is that, First Officer Cho? Is what is wrong with you lot today? Is there something in the water? Like, are the planets in an odd alignment or something? Dear me. Yeah, I pretty much never tan. I gotta be honest with you. No, I don't. I just, I'm pretty much this pale all year round. I'm either tanned or I have just complete and utter sunburn. There's really no in between. Right, so let's get this thing on the road. Stop wasting time. We're already a bit 2 hours later than I intended to start this thing, so fuck it. Never mind. We're in the 777. This time it's Golf Victor India India Victor, or Viv. Good old Vivian here. It's just I'm going to refer to it in the future. We're using Bavware again. Different plane this time, though. I made sure this one was actually a London Gatwick plane and not a Heathrow one, because Mungo had a bit of a Barney last time, because I was using a Heathrow plane at Gatwick. And so, yes. Aircraft status. This one's in significantly better nick than the last one, actually, so nothing really to worry about there. As you can see, it's all pretty, yeah. It's all fine. It's all good. Nothing in the tech log to worry about there. This is exactly the state the previous pilot left it in. Forget his name exactly, but it's in the Bavware thing somewhere. He's done an interesting thing with this, actually. He seems to have... He's got us tuned into Unicom, which is nice. But I actually put up the doors page on here before I went any further, because then I noticed that he's put up the door page for me here on the second CDU, and he's put the door screen up here on where the ND should be. And then the communications bit down here on the on the lower display unit, which is nice and all, but since the communication screen on the lower DU does absolutely nothing in the sim, it's a bit useless to me, to be honest with you. So I'm going to switch that over to the checklist instead, which he seems to have reset, which is nice. So let's go up here. ADIRU's on. Emergency exit lights. The GPUs are on and connected as well. He's done that for us, very good. Hydraulics, engine left, the left engine and right engine are set to on. This is all off. These are both off. Yep. Just double checking. No smoking is set to on. Seatbelts are off. You did leave the nav lights on and the dome light, because presumably the last time I flew this it was night time, but I've turned them off. All of the outside lights are off, which is good. Window heats are on. We can whack the packs to auto. Recirc fans are on. Set this to automatic. Cabin temperature, or whatever. I'll put that in the middle. Automatic on. All very good. Fuel pumps are all off and that sort of shit as well. Good stuff. Alright, so far so good. I might as well leave the door screen up there. Why not? So yes. Yeah, I will admit, we in the UK, we do have this ongoing feud with the big yellow ball of fire in the sky. It doesn't seem to like us very much. Unfortunately. So yeah, like exactly like that. The mystery of the Bermuda Triangle is no longer a mystery, is it? Really, it's literally just because the scenery is so fucked here. That's why all the planes go missing. Clearly. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, how are we all doing? Let's brief. Let's brief. Let's do the briefing-y crap. So, this button, I think, is the one we want. Let me just check that. Yeah, it is. Fantastic. Okay, so, welcome to my serious briefing document. This is the exact format the real crews get their briefings in. I know this because I've seen photographs of it, believe it or not. So, Dave Waldsworth, a A380 captain, for British Airways. I actually follow him on Twitter, and he posts his parts of his briefing documents up sometimes, which is pretty cool. So anyways, you can see we are British Airways 2232. This is all our weights and stuff like that, our projected weights. I've got our fuel down here. Our total fuel is 52136 kilograms, which I'm going to enter right now. Let's go to fuel. Ooh. Oh, it's in pounds. Of course, it's in bloody pounds. Damn it. How do I fix that? Which is why I just want to stick with the one airframe, to be honest with you, instead of switching between them like Mungo wants me to. But never mind. I guess for flights out of Gatwick, we'll use Vivian here, and for the flights out of Heathrow, we'll use good old Rust Bucket Rays instead. And that's just going to be the two I bother using. Let's see, aircraft options. I think it's aircraft displays. There we go, kilograms. Fantastic, brilliant. Okay, back to here then. FS actions, fuel. All right, so we want 52136 kilograms. 52136. Auto ground ops. The fuck does that mean? What does auto ground ops mean? Are you? Whatever. We'll request catering for now as well. That's what the other thing we need to do, and then we'll request boarding on top of that. But what the fuck do you mean auto ground ops? Let me hold on. Return ground operations. Turn type manual. Maybe that'll do the trick. That's fucking weird. There we go. That's done the trick. There we are. Nice one. What the hell is that option about? I need to go read the manual on that one. Wow. Just rub yourself in spray on tan. That's what Wriggles does. He denies this, of course, but yes, either pale or lobster, exactly. Interesting. I don't know how that works, but anyway, we've said it now. Return. Doors and payload. Right, payload, obviously, we're going to set to random. Because hang on a minute. You can just put in a 0 fuel weight for this, can't you? Yes, you can. Fucking PMDG, you magnificent bastards. Alright, let me zoom this in a bit so you can see a little better on the small screen. Let's see, our 0 fuel weight up here is 184.3, so let's put that in. 184.3. Fantastic, return. Thank you. Beautiful. Alright, good stuff. So, have a look at the rest of the briefing document. As you can see, our initial cruise flight level is 350. That is followed by a very quick step climb, I think, just after the blue intersection, or waypoint, or whatever you want to call it. Our fuel and stuff here. Our total reserves are 6.7 tons. Again, not as ridiculously high as last time, actually. Last time I gave you like a reserve of 12 tons, which was a bit off. That's fine. Cost index, it says 170. We'll be ignoring that, though, because we'll be using cost index 0, and then we'll be manually setting our MCP speed to Mach decimal 82. Alright, the rest of this looks good. ETOPS info. And then you've got our Cirrus flight plan here with all of our waypoints and so on and so on and so on. Not really using a nat track today because Bermuda's a bit far south for that. So we're just going direct to a few waypoints and such. And then we've got our arrival into here using the old Gibso waypoint. Good stuff. And then you've got all of our wind data up here, which is great, along with our altitudes as well, and in more easily readable format. So you've got 350, 350, and then, yeah, up to 370 for the rest of the trip. And let's see, a bunch of other NOTAMs and stuff. Here's our route on a map. You can see the nat tracks are up there today, so, yeah. That's hence we're not really using one. I've got our ETOPS waypoints, Shannon, and what is that? St. John's, I think? Yeah. You got weather, wind, and all that sort of good stuff. We're good coming out of here, and then we get hit by a sort of headwind, crosswind, halfway across, and so on. And then there's this. Yeah, this is the big storm I was telling you about, massive. If you look on Sky Vector, it looks really fucking dramatic. There's purple everywhere. It's incredible. But we're kind of skirting around the edge of it, really. And yeah, there you go. And there's the wind barbs as well. So we start off with a tailwind, which progresses through to a crosswind, kind of quartering on a headwind, and then as we get further across, it turns back into a tailwind again. So that's good. Yeah. Cool beans. That's the. You can consider yourselves briefed in that respect. Okay. The only other thing is we'll go to charts here, and you'll see that we do not have a departure today. We literally just take off, and we'll be vectored direct to Baloo. So I'll probably just fly runway heading and then direct Baloo. It's really it's the most unbelievably simple departure you could possibly imagine. Zero thought required, even less than normal. So that's good, I guess. Nice. There's not even any obstacle departure procedures or anything. It's just, take off, you're over the sea, fuck it. So that's good, I guess. That's fine. We can have a look at the ground chart. We are currently parked over here at apron 1, or at stand 4. And we'll be taxiing. I don't know what the weather is currently here. We should get that information shortly, but we can do it right now. 122.0. We're listening to the ATIS. Stop beeping at me. Oh, you want entry 2 and entry 4 open, don't you? Right, I forgot. Sorry. Doors. What was it? Entry 2 and 4? Yeah. Open. There you go. You can stop beeping at me like a Tesco checkout. Alright. 122.0. I'll be listening. Take some notes.
X-ray. Kilo. Foxtrot. Airport information. Hotel. 1555. Zulu. Weather. Wind. 174. At 15. Visibility. 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 2,300. Few clouds at 5,100. Temperature. 29er. Dew point. 22. QNH. 1013. Advise on initial contact.
Standard pressure. Ooh.
Hotel. Tango, X-ray,
right.
Kilo, Foxtrot, airport information, hotel 1555, Zulu, weather, wind 174.
Alright, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up! How long does it take for BAV to accept your application? It's fairly quick for me. They don't have much of a waiting list these days, so. You think you prefer colder countries overall? Cold, the less big the spiders. That is true. Big spider bro is still outside my window, by the way. Right? Hanging around doing whatever he does. Getting bigger, by the way. I should note, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Ugh. You got a question? Do they actually add in actual storms going on like Hurricane Matthew? Yes, absolutely. We could go. We're not going to, but we could, in theory, go fly right through Hurricane Matthew in the sim right now if we wanted to. It probably wouldn't. We wouldn't drop out of the sky like you would in real life because it's not quite as punishing as real life in the sim, to be completely honest. But it probably look impressive, that's for sure. Hello, John. I didn't see you lurking there. Why on earth join BAV? Yeah, right. I know why. I know, right? Why would you do that? Oh, the previous guy left us tuned in with the mic on and everything as well. That's a bit of a bugbear of mine, actually. I'm glad he did that. And this one's even set up for COM 2 as well, sweet. Close right entry to, okay. Which CD were we using for that? This one here. I suppose you'll want number 4 as well. Yep. They have loaded aboard all the food. Good stuff. Right, I'll get you back in the cockpit now because we've really reviewed everything we need to review. So other than the wind is 174 at 15 knots, which means we will be using runway 12 for departure. So that means a very short taxi for us, which is nice, I suppose. Right. Okie dokie, how are we not? There we go, that's the correct button. Okay, welcome back. Alright then, so FMC. We're on the approach ref page for some reason, that's interesting. I'd like to go back to POS in it, thank you. Well, actually no, we should really check the ident page, shouldn't we? Iraq is 1610. Very good, okay, good. POS in it, GPS position goes in there. That seems to have aligned us more or less immediately. Route. Okay, so we do have a company route, thank God. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm getting this mixed up with somewhere else in the Caribbean. TXKF EGKK. That's the file name. Company route. Good. And we are speedbird 2232. So jokes about 22s here. Right, activate. Hurrah, it's all in there. Okay, good stuff. So we don't have a departure, then I need to dial in a runway for us, which will be runway 12. Execute. Done. Right. Okay, route. Very good. Performance in it. There's our 0 fuel weight we got from SimBrief. Our reserves are... I go back and check the old Cirrus briefing document. Our total reserves are 6.7. Our cruise altitude to begin with is flight level 350, and our cost index is 0, I think. If we're going, you know, eastbound, anyway, across the North Atlantic. Recently caught the VFR bug and are now designing your own chart for Mesa Del Rey in Oakland, US. I'm also considering a Pilot Edge subscription. Only started flying VFR yesterday night. Very good, Captain Joseph. I strongly recommend getting a Pilot Edge subscription if you are interested in VFR. They are far and away the absolute best. If you want to simulate VFR flying on in-flight sim, there is absolutely no contest. And obviously they only do the US for now, but there are talks going on at the minute of opening up a kind of UK and Europe branch of Pilot Edge as well. Don't know when that's going to happen, but it's on the table at least at this point, so that's good news as well. We'll be doing... I don't have time today, but I will be doing a VFR stream on Pilot Edge very soon, actually, because as you may know, they've introduced the new cat ratings, and I want to have a go at those. So
you can teach
we will warm up the old
to fly better
Cherokee or possibly the Beaver, and we will get to work on those. Not Comedian is now following. Thank you, Not Comedian, for the follow. Welcome aboard, sir. Alright, this is all good. Thrust limit. I am afraid I'm a lazy bugger, and I don't have Top Cat or Topper or anything, so I'm just going to put in a 50-degree, you know, flex temp, whatever you call it, in there and hope for the best. Takeoff. Flaps, probably 15. And CG, yep, that seems about right. And gross weight, takeoff gross weight. Do I have that readily available in here somewhere? Takeoff weight, TOW, 235.8, I think. Oh, there we go. Alright, you know, before I put those in again as well, we got wind, which is 174 at 15. And it's done the runway for us, nice one, and slope is obviously 0 degrees because we're in flight sim. The outside air temperature, I did not get that actually, crap. Let me just go to the conditions tab here. It's 29 degrees Celsius. There we go. Right. Back over to here. Speeds are back in, very good. Okay, oxygen. Where the hell are you? There you are. Okay, hold on. How do I do this? I've forgotten. How do I get you to... There we go, 100%. Yeah, tested, 100%, whatever. Flight instruments, heading... good question. Heading 164, and this is still on the door page, handily. Nav. Lower center. Okay, yeah, heading 164, and altimeter should be reading 1013 right now. Whoa, that scrolled bloody quick. My god, there we go. 1013. Reading just about 20 feet, 30 feet or so. MSL. Parking brake is set.
Monkeys to fly better than that.
That's pre-flight checklist complete. That should... What the devil? Should tell me to this before start. There we go, okay. Very good, very good, very good. You can go to the legs page. Are we boarding? We should be. Yeah, we are. We're good. I did queue that up correctly. Fantastic. Stop flying crap planes. I know, Miss Copilot, I know. I'd fly the TriStar more if it didn't crash me to desktop on a roughly 50% basis. Unfortunately. These MLG Phantom gaming glasses, they're gunners, and beyond that I can't remember which exact ones they were. But yes, they are very good. They are very, very good. Excellent at preventing headaches and whatnot and stuff like that, and eye fatigue and all that good shit. So great, good stuff. All right, let's get the MCP set up. 149 up here. Heading should be 117 degrees. Altitude, we will just, I don't know, we'll climb 10,000 feet to begin with. Kind of making this up really, because we've got no control or anything like that. And no SID or anything. Oh, what do you want now? Left entry 1, open entry, left entry 4. Oh. Oh, funny that. I thought that was open actually. I thought both of these were open. Sorry, it's probably been beeping for a while. After a while with GSX, you kind of tune it out, I'm afraid. Yeah, we're getting people on board now. No, it's alright. Miss Copilot has a get out of jail free card. For the most part. There's not an invitation to push it. Especially when Concorde's involved. Anyway. Well, that's just more or less sorted for now, isn't it, really? I shall start the APU fairly shortly, put the old seatbelt light on. Yeah, it's kind of, we're just killing a bit of time now, basically. Matt Flies, hello, welcome aboard, mate. How are you doing? And Metropolitan Prince as well. Hello. We could have a look at Bermuda for a bit, I suppose. Have a look at the scenery before we jet out of here. Shame these flags aren't moving. They look a bit weird like that, don't they? Is that seriously a pair of shorts? I don't know if that's meant to be a pair of shorts, but that's genuinely a pair of Bermuda shorts right there. That's actually hilarious. Wow. Got a kind of breakwater thing here. Cars parked around. The apron itself is actually surprisingly detailed, to be fair. I quite like it. Someone mentioned there was a way to make it so that old FSX sceneries like this actually do have working runway lights in prepared, but I don't know how to do it, so that's why we're flying in the day at the moment. We're cheating, essentially. We'll just have to pretend that we were delayed by weather or something, I don't know. Got boats hanging around and that sort of thing. Actually quite nice, honestly. All these funny looking buildings over here. You know what, I've actually put in the route and everything now, but it has occurred to me I could have actually grabbed a real world one off of FlightAware, because this is technically a UK to UK flight. Did you hear the Concorde in X-Plane has been updated for 10.5? Well, good for the Concorde in X-Plane, but I won't be flying it because it's rubbish. Sorry, but... I mean, it's freeware and it's not that brilliant, and the supersonic modelling in X-Plane, supersonic flight modelling in X-Plane is dreadful, so yeah, no, I won't be flying it, sorry. Need to edit the AFCAD file to get the runway lights working in P3D. Oh god, getting into black magic territory there as far as I'm concerned, mate, to be honest with you. I could just about edit scenery in X-Plane, but prepared in FSX the whole new world of I don't have even the remotest clue to me, so got back from Cosford yesterday. Cosford was bloody good fun. I don't know how many of you are here that I actually bumped into yesterday. There was a lot of people who I didn't actually get a chance to speak to, and I think I think there were probably a lot of people I ended up just sort of walking past in the hall that were actually viewers here on Twitch, and obviously there's no way to know people by sight, so but either way, it was really, really cool. Met loads of great folks, including a bunch of the streamers like Durka and Wriggles and Matt, and bumped into Josh Fellows briefly as well, and who else? Gibbon. I had a big old long chat about Gibbon, with Gibbon, sorry, about aeroplanes and all sorts of stuff like that. I have to be honest, right? Like we're in this hall for this flight sim event, right? And everyone sat around us talking about flight sim. I swear to God, me and Gibbon must have been the only two people in there actually looking at the planes. It's quite funny, really, to be honest. But it was good fun. Absolutely. There's loads of stuff there, loads of stuff on display, that kind of thing. Heard some really interesting news. I didn't catch the X-Plane seminar in the end because by the time I got there I'd missed the sort of morning presentation, and I didn't fancy going to the afternoon one because I looked at the actual sheet for it and I was like, oh my god, because I realised how long it was. It was literally like it started at 2:30 and it finished at like 4:30. So it was like 2 hours long, and if I'd done that, I would have literally come out and had about 15 minutes to say hello to people in the actual main hall before leaving. So, yeah, that's a bit... Oh yes, Andy as well, that's right, I did run into Andy. Yes, it's all coming back to me now. So, yeah. Heard some really, really cool, interesting news about various different things. I even ran into one of the FSFX guys. I didn't have long to stop and talk, though, because he was with Paul Squirrel, who I also said hello to, but I only managed to bump into those two as I was on my way out, so I didn't have long to chat, unfortunately, but yes. Yeah, loads of cool stuff there. I got to try Oculus VR for the first time, which was really cool. If you've never tried it before, you don't potentially understand what all the fuss is about. It's I genuinely, I can only really just tell you to try it, and you'll understand. It was they had a bunch of bits set up with VR. Unfortunately, I didn't get to try the one where they had set it up so that you could actually reach out with your hands and operate switches in the plane. That looked incredible, but there was a bit of a queue for that. But I did try out one of the other ones. And it was pretty cool because they had it set up with a Cessna 152, which is obviously the one plane I've flown in real life. And I put on the Oculus headset, and you have to adjust it a bit because it's like if you don't get it on your head just right, it becomes very, very blurry. Like it's kind of weird. You've got to align it correctly with your eyes. But once I got it on, it was mental. It was like I was in the real plane again. It really was. It was just... I just sat there for a good couple of minutes on the ground doing nothing other than just looking around the cockpit like, oh my god! And I kept instinctively reaching out to touch stuff before realising, oh, right, yes, no, you can't do that. And then had to sort of fumble awkwardly around on the desk for a bit trying to find the joystick and the throttle. But it was bloody incredible. Like, it really was. I'd buy one today if it weren't for the fact that A, they're very expensive, and B, there's no real way to stream properly with it yet, if you see what I mean. Because the aspect ratio that the device kind of runs at is very bizarre. That kind of thing. But, wow. Really, really cool. So, yeah, if you get a chance to try a VR thing at an event somewhere, absolutely do. Even if you have to queue for it, it's totally worth it. Is there any way to start the A2A 172 with a dead battery without the maintenance hangar? Nope. You're going to have to go to the maintenance hangar, Joseph. I'm sorry. I don't believe there's any kind of GPU for the A2A 172, so, yeah. You kind of need the battery not to be dead. And you roasted cashew yum yum. Hello, you were there. All right, yes, see, exactly. Like there must have been dozens of you that I just ended up walking past, not knowing who you were. And to be fair, I think a lot of people walked past me without knowing who I was because I only just recently started using a webcam. Matt didn't recognise me until I actually opened my mouth and started speaking, and then he just turned around and was like, "Nah, nah." It was quite funny, really. I mean, because I initially I got into the hall and I actually walked around for like a couple of minutes looking at the stalls and stuff. And I watched Wriggles walk right past me, and Matt as well, and Squirrel and everybody, and it was just funny as because none of them actually realised who I was until I actually said hello. So I was like, I've talked to these people plenty of times before on the internet, but you actually meet them in person, they have no clue at all. Just walk straight past. It's good. Next year I'll just have to go with a Sorcerer Dave T-shirt or something. That's what Dave did actually. He turned up with a Wriggles '89 T-shirt with a hilarious picture of himself pulling a ridiculous face. He made poor Valentina wear a T-shirt as well. She didn't look that amused, if I'm honest. She looked a bit bored, but it's all good fun. But yes, I believe a bunch of the others sort of went back to the hotel after I was gone as well, and got pissed. I didn't book a room at the hotel. As I said, I lived so close to Cosford, it almost wasn't worth the bother. But I might do it next year anyway, just to take part in the piss up. Passengers boarded, baggage loading in process, blah blah blah. It's probably about time we started the APU, isn't it, really? Left entry 1, close left entry 2. Yeah, we can do that. And arm it this time. Yep, arm. There we go. Very good. I hope for X-Plane 11 now. I am definitely looking forward to X-Plane 11. It looks fantastic. It really does. It looks really, really cool. I am a little worried about add-on compatibility, but I'm sure that will be solved sooner or later. You saw his T-shirt on Matt's tweet. Yeah. It's very good. There's a photo going around, I think, of me and Durka and Andy and Matt just photobombing in the background, like over my shoulder. It's the funniest shit ever. He looks like he's 12 years old. I don't know how he does it. Like, it's fucking weird. Like, I'll get it up for you. Actually, I'll show you it. It's quite funny. Look, here it is. There you go. There's me in the middle, looking like a bit of a wally. And then he genuinely looks like he's 13 years old. I don't know how he does it. Like, for some reason, when you turn on a camera, he's like fucking Dorian Gray or something. I don't know. But anyway, that's yours truly. That's Durka. That's Gibbon. And that's some of the VR stuff in the background I told you about as well. There's the comet, by the way, in the middle of the hall, just over there. That was pretty cool, seeing that. Yeah, no, it was great. Great fun. I think there's a few more photos floating around. I know Matt actually recorded some video as well, so that'll be up at some point. You like my shirt? I know. Very good. I fucking hate Daggerfall, so naturally one of my subscribers bought me a Daggerfall t-shirt, so... If you think P3D goes to 64-bit, the X-Plane users will at the very least look at the option to switch. I don't know, to be honest with you, because if you're fairly entrenched in X-Plane, it takes a lot of persuading to go over to the Microsoft side of things, because even when you remove the risk of the OOM, the dreaded OOM, there are all sorts of other problems in terms of stability and compatibility, and also the cost. P3D is outrageously expensive compared to X-Plane. I mean, if you look at my X-Plane installation, I probably have well over 2,000 airports or something right now installed, all completely free, which just is something you don't get with this. I started off with FSX and then moved to Prepared before getting involved in X-Plane, so it's different for me. Therefore, I have access to both sims and enjoy them both because I've got them both running in a state I consider enjoyable and acceptable. But I think if you're primarily an only X-Plane guy, especially with X-Plane 11 coming out, it will take a lot of convincing to really give Prepared a go. I know a few guys who have come across from X-Plane and had a go at P3D, but for them, their primary sim is still X-Plane and probably always will be. I think the chief reason X-Plane guys give P3D a go is because of the weather. They come over for active sky, and occasionally the planes like the PMDG stuff, for example, or the Majestic. But it's mostly either of those things, because in their eyes, and kind of in mine too, to an extent, everything else about P3D is inferior. There's one of me where I looked like a serial killer. Oh wow, very good. What joystick / yoke do I have? I have a Cytec Cessna yoke that I never use because I think it's a bit rubbish, and I have a Hotus Warthog Thrustmaster joystick, which I'm wiggling around right now, as you can see, which is fantastic. I've had this joystick now for I think a couple of years. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's just so good. It genuinely is the best stick controller you can get for flight sim, honestly. The only thing that would improve it is forced feedback, which I think you can actually add as a mod these days. So it's such a good bit of kit, the Warthog. I mean, it's expensive, obviously, but incredibly good. UI of X-Plane needs a bit of an overhaul. Well, that's coming in X-Plane 11. They've completely overhauled the UI for X-Plane 11. So, anyway, right, flight deck door closed and locked. Passenger signs are on. MCP V2149 heading 117 and altitude 10,000 feet. Takeoff speeds V1137, VR140, and V2149. CDU pre-flight is completed. Trim. Trim needs to be 2.75 units, so we definitely need to change that, but that means we can actually bring online the hydraulics at this point in order to accomplish that. So 2.7 units. There we go. That's probably about right. I don't think X-Plane's UI is honestly that bad. It takes about maybe a few hours of familiarization at most, and then after that, I don't really have much of a problem with it. It's really not that different from this. The chief problem I have with the X-Plane UI is really just the way you have to assign buttons and controls. It's so rubbish and weird and bizarre. I much prefer the way the Microsoft Sims do the controls. And button assignments and things like that. But aside from that, I've never quite 100% understood why so many people have incredible issues with X-Plane's UI, because I don't honestly find it to be that bad. Anyway, but yes, a total overhaul is coming in X-Plane 11 regardless. It looks a hell of a lot better, so I think that will help. Speaking of X-Plane, actually, one of these days I am going to do a 777 flight in X-Plane with BA Virtual. It's probably going to be, as I said, the flight to Ben Gurion, because the X-Plane scenery for Ben Gurion is, frankly, far and above anything available for Prepared, actually, so that's the chief reason I'm going to do it. So trim is now set, taxi and takeoff briefing, we've already really gone over that, that's done. The beacon is now coming on. Oh my god, it's taken us forever, mostly because I've sat around talking about random rubbish, but we're actually getting there. And yeah, there's something up with the checklist today. Take it over to the before taxi, and yeah, we'll get moving. Let's put the traffic reins on over here. Very good. So yeah, it's takeoff and then kind of a left turn out, although I'm actually going to do, I'm going to arm heading select. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to switch on the flight directives. I'm going to arm heading select instead, and VNav, and do it that way, because I don't necessarily want to make the left turn out. I think we'll head straight out for a bit and then we'll turn direct instead. Okay, doodly doodly doo. RTO on the order brakes is good. Yeah, let's push this thing back, shall we? Are all our doors shut? No, our cargo ones are still open. This is why we check these things, isn't it? They are closing. If we go to ground connections as well, we'll remove the wheel chocks, and that'll get rid of all the ground equipment too. Back to the checklist screen, and yes, prepare for pushback and departure. Straight pushback, manual stop. We will not start the engines first. For some reason, when you get to the top of climb, the plane keeps climbing past cruise altitude. Is this an? Are you running XUIPC or XPUIPC? I forget which it's called. If you are, disable it, and then you may have to restart the flight anyway, unfortunately. But if you disable that for me seemed to fix a lot of the strange behaviour with that plane. I think there are a couple of planes in X-Plane that don't react well to XPUIPC running, unfortunately. Normally it gets fixed, but SSG haven't done anything about it yet. I don't know if enough people have reported it. How does the flight factor 777 on X-Plane compare against the PMDG on P3D? Well, considering it's older than the PMDG, this is definitely a better plane. I think probably the only thing the flight factor does slightly better would be the actual flight dynamics. I've heard very, very good things about the flight dynamics of that thing. I do own it, but I haven't flown it in donkey's years, so I can't remember what it's like, to be honest with you. But the PMDG one pretty much does about everything better, aside from that. But again, it's newer, and it's by a development team that have far more resources available to them. Whack goes the parking brake. Apparently nothing in the centre pumps, that's fine. Okie dokie. Start the right engine. We're actually moving, guys. I know it's incredible. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to stop pretty sharpish, aren't we? yeah, I would say about there we'll do it, right there.
Set parking brakes.
Maybe when you've sold a kidney, you'll get the PMDG. Indeed. It isn't cheap. That's the other thing the Flight Factor has going for it, where, yeah, it's kind of three things. One is, as I said, the flight dynamics are reportedly better. Two is it's cheaper, significantly cheaper. And three, it does have a 200 ER, which PMDG didn't do. They did the LR and the F and the 300 ER as an expansion, but they never did the 200 ER, and Flight Factor actually did do the 200 ER, so... Is that you were able to take a small look at the back 111, the guy who made the model and mostly unwrapped thing needs to be shot. Yes. That's one way to put it. I would try to be slightly more diplomatic, but I kind of agree. Aeroplane Heaven, God bless them, they love aeroplanes, but it's like Rush says, they really love aeroplanes, but they really don't know much about them. So good on them for having a go, and I hope they do a better job with their VC-10, but they just don't know about aeroplanes. They like the things, they absolutely love them, but they're like me, they just don't know how the things are supposed to work. And it kind of shows, unfortunately. Yeah, Flight Factor's done all the variants essentially. They've done the LR, the F, the 300 ER, and the 200 ER, as I recall. So. Yeah, it's definitely a letdown. Honestly, if you're still running FSX or FS9, I'd recommend just using David Morby's freeware one, because it's sort of just better. Yeah, well, anyway. I'm getting distracted again. You'll have to just take my word for it, guys, whenever I say that, honest to God, I am better at flying aeroplanes when I'm not streaming. There we go. Was it FFS that did the Saab 340 for FS9X? Oh, I don't know. Or is it the Captain Sim 777 compared to the PMDG 777? I've heard nothing but terrible things about the Captain Sim 777. If I'm completely honest with you, mate. Apparently, they make some really nice classic aircraft. I have their 707 for FSX, which is pretty good. I have their TriStar for P3D, which is fantastic, although unfortunately it does occasionally crash to desktop for some reason mid-flight. But anything they've done involving glass cockpits and FMCs, you should probably avoid. Okay. Anti-ice as required. Recall. I forget where the recall is in this. There it is. Checked. Scorpion 2000, that's fine for now. Flight controls. Left. Right. Up. Down. And the rudder. Left and right are all good. Flight controls checked. Ground equipment clear. Takes us straight to the... well, it would if that was working today. It would take us straight to the before takeoff checklist, which is just flaps 15, which we can set right now. Goody gumdrops. Right. Taxi light on. TriStar doesn't crash for you. Well, it crashes for me, and it also crashes for Gibbon. We were having a talk about this yesterday at Cosford, actually, but it's... oh dear. Sorry, it's so much for ground equipment clear, eh? Sod off, you. And we were talking about this at Cosford. It's a temperamental beast. Sometimes it will just whack you over to the desktop with a fatal error, and sometimes it won't. It just seems to, purely on a whim as well. There's never one specific thing you do that causes it to happen either. You can be doing anything from just fiddling with the heading knob or flicking the landing light sign. It doesn't matter. It'll just randomly occasionally just GG out on you, and just that's it. Airbus. Aha! Yes, I have news on the Airbus thing. The rumour. This is all completely unsubstantiated as far as I'm aware. This is just what I was told by several people at Cosford yesterday. The rumour is that the FS Labs A320 will be releasing for P3D in the next week. Right, that taxiway up there is actually closed, so we're not going that way. We're just going to follow Bravo up here until we get onto, we'll take a left on this little golf mini taxiway here, and then we'll pull on to runway 12. I don't know if we need to backtrack much. I don't think so. Yes, some interesting news for sure, actually. So obviously X-Plane 11 is one of the big ones. That's out in November. The FS Labs A320 is supposedly coming within the next week or two. Who told me this? I don't know if I should release my sources, to be honest with you. And the PMDG 747 is set to release more or less alongside P3D version 4, which is going to be 64-bit in January, and apparently the Aerosoft A330 is going to be releasing alongside it as well, and both of them have effectively been developed for the new 64-bit version of P3D coming in January. So that's the rumour anyway. As I said, thoroughly unsubstantiated, but there it is. Okay, before takeoff checklist, flaps 15 done. It's amazing how short that checklist is, but there's plenty of items we need to do aside from it, including putting the lights on, and the transponder, and the clock, and probably something else I've forgotten. There's always something. About the quality wing 787, nothing on that front, I'm afraid. No, haven't heard squat about that thing. Quality wings didn't even turn up this year, so yeah. You only get X-Plane 11 if you buy X-Plane 10 now. Yes, so you can get, if you buy X-Plane 10 now, you will get X-Plane 11 for free. Sadly, Lockheed Martin are not offering such a generous deal, and you will have to buy P3D version 4 again with your hard-earned monies. So January is set to be a outrageously expensive month for me, at least. I could, of course, write to PMDG and say, hello, I'm a Twitch streamer, can I get a press copy? But I don't fancy my chances that much. Alright, we should be ready to go, really. I have a terrible feeling I've forgotten something very major because I've been so distracted this entire time, but all the checklists are done. So I guess we should be okay. We'll just set that to the after takeoff checklist, and yeah, here we go. About 50% N1, stable, and see ya! We've got enough runway. V1 is coming now, and rotate. Yeah, we're fine. No need to panic. Don't panic, don't panic. Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. Positive rate of climb, gear up. Up we go. That sound is still incredible. That's never going to get old. We can go to flaps 5 while we're at it as well. Flaps 1. Up. Oh, hello, we're getting some interesting cloud effects from active sky. Alright, I'm going to put the autopilot on now. I don't necessarily want to. I do enjoy hand flying this thing actually, but there it is. Matt Flies, you're completely right. I didn't start the tracker. Oh, damn it. Guys, how many times do I tell you to yell Phoenix at me? Oh, didn't reset the chrono either, apparently. Whoever the last guy to use this plane was, he forgot to reset the chrono because we had 7 hours 40 on the clock there. Oh well, I guess we're not filing this with Bav. Never mind. Because it's either we don't file it, or I have to return immediately to the airport, land, switch off the engines, and take off again. No, I'm sorry. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't need LNAV. No, I already said this. We're in the departure briefing. You silly sods. We'll take it a little bit further out. We'll climb up to 10,000 feet, and then we'll make a left turn. Yeah, you can stop yelling LNAV at me. This was part of the departure brief, you silly sausages. All right. Just restart the flight. No, God, it took us like 40 minutes just to get going in the first place, man. Anyway, I don't really care. I don't really care, guys. Like I said, we got the outbound flight recorded, so I've got it drawn on my BA virtual map, so to speak. It's fine. It's fine. It's not. I'm doing this because I enjoy flying the plane. I'm not doing it purely to clock hours with Bav. That's fine. I don't mind in the slightest. It would be nice to remember it once in a blue moon, but... Oh, you didn't hear the departure brief? Well, there you go, then. It means you officially have no legs to stand on, Adonis. I have to be honest, mate, but... Thou shalt not yell LNAV at the pilot when one was not here for the departure brief. Okay. Right, yeah, that's about 10,000 feet, so let's... bring it to the left. What do I need to do? Altitude intervene, probably. There we go, yep. Up we go. I'll just re-enter below at the top there, and LNAV. About to embark on an IFR in the 172 to Burbank. Well, hopefully you won't have any trouble stopping in time at Burbank in a 172, but my track record with that particular airport is not the best, it has to be said. Oh, crap. I didn't forget the strobe, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I have the airport plates here. I shall have you know, Adonis, and there is no instrument departure procedure at all for Bermuda. There is no such thing whatsoever. I don't even have an obstacle departure procedure for runway 12. There is nothing. So. After takeoff checklist is complete, that just takes us to the descent. Turn off the checklist now. We do not require it at this point in time. Go to the progress screen. We're up and away. Well, off we pop, as they say. No, unfortunately, there is no point in looking for me on the live ACAR screen, is there? No, that's annoying, but whatever. I don't mind all that much. I did the same thing with actually no, it wasn't quite the same thing. I missed a position report when I flew Speedbird 2 back to London City. But again, yeah, there's a fair old few flights that are missing from my log and BAV because I forgot Phoenix or missed a position report. But well, whatever. APU is on. Oh dear, it is, isn't it? Yep. Told you I was forgetting stuff. Be gentle. This is like the third time I've flown this in about 6 months, so. It does look good, doesn't it? Yeah, the BA paint job does suit the triple quite nicely. You got the t-shirt, yeah. No worries. Well, at least now I don't have to cajole people into doing position reports for me in case I miss them. If I'm not around for them or anything like that. I don't have to worry about that. Which means I won't have to worry later about dodging back here in time to nail one of the position reports either. I can actually... It's a bit of a weight off my mind, if anything, actually. So the seatbelt signs on. Yeah, I guess they can come off now, if they want, before people start wetting themselves. That says no smoking, but it really should be a no electronics. Whatever. That's not the end of the world. I mean, well, you're talking about the APU thing. I remember when Frasca Flyer was doing a stream, and he's a real world 767 captain, and he was trying to demonstrate something, so he had the APU on takeoff, and there was just this great flight sim expert who had many hours with Turkish Virtual Airlines, and he was absolutely adamant that Frasca Flyer was an amateur because he was leaving the APU on for takeoff. And he just would not let it go until he eventually got banned from the chat, but it was quite funny. It's like, okay, yeah, well, you go ahead and tell the real-life 767 captain that he's doing it wrong. Because you have 50 hours with Turkish Virtual Airlines, I'm sure you're an expert. Those prescription lenses... Oh, no. You have to pay a lot more for the prescription lenses on these things. You miss anything to your question? You had to stand up for it. Let me just check back, Huff Daddy. Is the Flight Fighter 777 good for long hauls, or is the A330 better? Like I said, I haven't flown the Flight Fighter 777 in ages, so I can't really give you a good answer to that. I can tell you the A330 by Jar Design is, as of the latest couple of updates, actually pretty solid. I've flown across the Pacific a fair old few times now with that plane, and it still has its quirks, but it's by and large pretty robust at this point, and I do recommend it if you have the money to purchase it. It's actually quite fun. It's still the best A330 around, at least until Aerosoft releases theirs. So yeah, it's a good plane, especially if you get the sound pack for it. Please absolutely get the sound pack for it if you do buy the A330. The sound pack ought to be mandatory, frankly, because it just improves the experience so much. Those are some adorable kitty cats, Nebulano, yes. However, I don't have anything but bad experience with cats, so I'm definitely a dog person, I have to be honest. Precision reports were once random. Seriously? Oh my god! Jesus, that's like that's a very calculated kind of evil, if I'm honest. that is fiendish. That is devious. My god. Wow. Yeah. Crikey. Well, I will be at the computer for most of this flight, but yes. Yikes. So anyway, yeah, Cosford was bloody fantastic. If you fancy coming next year, by all means, please do. I will be there. I will probably stay for more than one day. I think I might book a room at the hotel with the others, even though I don't live that far away, just to be able to hang around a bit longer and that sort of thing. But yeah, it was really good. Because honestly, my chief regret is the fact that I wasn't there long enough to say hello to everybody. I barely got to talk to Dave. Like, I literally saw him for probably all of about 2 minutes. Because I initially said hello to him, and then he had to go off and get some food, and then I said hello to him literally at the end, because he walked up and said, "I'm about to go, mate, but nice meeting you anyway." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay then." Ta-ra. Matt Davis is still at Cosford. I imagine he's on his way back by now. I did see some really nice gear at Cosford as well, all of it way beyond my price range, but there were some awesome big TVs that you could get, which the sim looked incredible on. There's obviously the VR stuff, and there were these guys. I've got the card for them around here somewhere, actually, still, I think. Where did I put it? Damn, I don't know. Probably in my coat pocket still. But they were doing like home cockpit build type stuff for A320s, you know, for Airbuses. Hello, Gibbon. Speak of the devil. And they were doing this home cockpit Airbus A320 stuff. It looked fantastic. I think it was outrageously expensive, but they had some good shit there. One of the things I really fancied the look of was they had an Airbus side stick with tiller that I wouldn't mind having. But they did the whole thing there. They had the center pedestal with the CDUs, an overhead panel, you know, a main glare shield and everything with the screens underneath it and stuff. It looked seriously cool, but also seriously expensive. Hello, jurors. Is my webcam really laggy, by the way, guys? I'm just looking at it on the stream. Yeah, it is. It's super laggy. What the hell, man? Hold the phone. That shouldn't be like that. Properties, configure. If I turn it off automatic, oh, it gets a bit darker, but... Need to put some lights on here, actually. It's getting kind of dark, but... Okay, that's Still not brilliant, but it's better than it was before. Good grief. Yeah, alright, we'll go with that for now. If you have the incorrect settings set on the webcam, it gets really laggy. Yeah, okay, we're cruising at 350 for now, and we'll actually be step climbing up to 370, like, really quickly. Well, you know, I say really quickly, but... let me have a look at the flight plan. We'll step climb just after 40 north, 50 west or 5 west. I forget how to read those things. After this one here, yeah, there you go. 40 north, 50 west. That's, yeah. After that, we're step climbing to 370. It wants to do it now. Actually, the plane does, but we're not gonna. Oh shit, hello, we got some condensation-y stuff going on the wings. Very nice. That is a new one on me, Eric. That, yeah, I've never seen that one out before. You tried using a different browser, maybe? You know what David's buying if he wins the lottery? Yeah, pretty much. I'd love an A320 home cockpit, especially with the FS Labs out now. That would be pretty fantastic. Although, honestly, in some ways, I think having just a VR headset would trump all of that. I think actually if I was going to choose between the two, I might just opt for the VR headset with the whole thing that lets you move, you know, touch buttons in the cockpit with your hands, because then you wouldn't be restricted to one plane. But again, it'd be difficult to stream, that's the only thing. Actually, either option would be pretty difficult to stream. It's dark, looks kind of... Yeah, I noticed that. Last time we did it, it sort of looks a bit like I'm just a disembodied head floating around. Get on VATSIM. No, mate, I'm not... The reason I'm not on VATSIM is purely because the Oceanic stuff is online at the minute, because I think they're practicing for across the pond. And as you know, I know precisely zero about Oceanic procedures. And more to the point, oh, actually, speaking of which, speed intervene. There we go. I know precisely squat about Oceanic procedures, and I honestly don't really want to try and find that out on the fly right now. More to the point, I will be leaving the cockpit for a significant amount of time, and VATSIM does in fact frown on you doing that for a significant amounts of time, so yeah. If there's anybody around by the time we actually get to the UK tonight, controller-wise, I will jump in, make sure my flight plan's filed and all that stuff. We'll try and get some control on the arrival, but I'm not expecting it because we'll be arriving quite late. But yes, no, I've never done Oceanic procedures, but I don't particularly like the look of them. I think it looks quite dull, actually, to be honest with you. There's no kind of CPDLC available to sort of bring it up to date, so you're literally just doing position reports over the radio, and it just strikes me as incredibly dull, and I'm not interested. They're quite easy. Yeah, well, I'm sure they are, to be honest with you, because if some of the... How can I put this while remaining a little bit diplomatic? Special individuals who frequently take part in Cross the Pond every year, if they can manage Oceanic procedures then it probably isn't that hard now. But Did I get to have a play on the Yoko yesterday? No, I didn't actually. No, I didn't know they had one there, to be honest. And speaking of yokes, the one I'm quite interested in is the Ace one. You know, the one that ones those guys are doing. They're like, you know, actual 737 or 747 or whatever yokes, but they're, you know, they're like a SciTech one. They're connected into a box. You can just put on your desk, but it's an actual, you know, 737 yoke with all the switches exactly as it should be, like a replica jobby. Those look really quite cool. I mean, I've got my Warthog as a stick, which functions quite nicely as an Airbus side stick, effectively, just with a few extra buttons. But I wouldn't mind a nice big airliner yoke actually for flying the Boeings with, you know. Yeah, I know there's like a PDF cheat sheet and stuff like that, but like I said, I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to actually be at the computer, so I can't be on I can't be online on VATSIM anyway because I won't be at the cockpit, and that's pretty much against the terms of service, especially if you're in controlled airspace. So. It's funny with the VR stuff though, because like I said, even when you don't have the things where you can actually manipulate hands with, you know, manipulate hands with your switches. What? No, switches with your hands. You instinctively reach out to do stuff. I found when I was in, like I said, when I got in the Cessna 152 sim with the VR headset on, I kept reaching out for the throttles with my hand instead of, you know, using the throttle in front of me on the stick. So it's quite weird. It's a real mindfuck, honestly. On the very large list of things prop forward needs, yeah. With you there, mate, yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. The desktop version, it does look quite nice. Many kids in Cosford? There's a few, but not as many as you'd think. Most of the... Not in the flight sim bit anyway. I mean, obviously, because Cosford's a bloody big museum, actually, at the end of the day, which because I brought my dad along with me, as I said. He wanted to check out the museum, and before I actually got to the flight sim hall, we did do that. I went around the entire museum with him, and we had a look at stuff. And the museum itself at Cosford is fantastic. There's so much cool stuff there. They had... One of the best bits was got to be like you're in the Cold War section where they had an English Electric Lightning, but they'd hung it from the ceiling pointing up vertically, and it was just awesome. It looked like a fucking missile, and that's essentially what it was, a missile with wings. It was so cool. Loads of great stuff in there. And then they had the other hangar as well with all the test aircraft for test flights and stuff like that. So they had all these wonderful planes you've probably never heard of, hipster planes, I guess, really, but for all for testing different things like supersonic flight and mental fatigue and testing out. There was one they had where they were testing the Delta wings and stuff like that, and it had a Concorde style nose that went up and down, and this was before Concorde was invented. And there were incredible things like all these test aircraft and prototypes and things. Like they had a prototype for the Eurofighter as well in there, and they had a Sepcat, you know, Jaguar, which was modified because basically what they did, they were trialing fly-by-wire with the thing. So they took this Jaguar and then they pulled out all of the physical flight controls and replaced it with fly-by-wire, and then they put these what the hell were they called on the wings? These sticky outy bits on the wings. Yes, very technical term, but they put these sticky outy bits on the wings, which deliberately made the aircraft really unstable at transonic speeds. But the idea was that the fly-by-wire would compensate for that and allow the pilot to retain stability even with the inherently unstable wing design, and obviously it worked because they went on to put it in the Eurofighter. So but it was really cool, like especially a lot of the older test aircraft from like the 60s looked awesome. Like they looked like freaking stuff out of Star Wars. Like they like there was this one. I was talking to Gibbon about this actually on the day, but there was, I think it was the VAC 188 or something like that, which genuinely looked like a spaceship. It was so freaking cool. It was designed in the 60s, you know, or possibly even before that. It's crazy stuff. It's funny how all the older stuff looks way more futuristic than the modern stuff. No, I haven't been to Le Bourget in Paris. I've never actually been to Paris. I've been to France plenty of times, but never actually went to Paris itself. Cosford is an RAF Cosford, yeah, the very same. It is indeed a brilliant place. Just loads of great, sort of reasonably obscure aircraft knocking around. They had like they had like a big. It was actually in the flight sim hall itself, but they had a big. RB211 from a TriStar just sat there looking humongous. They had one of the original Comets still in its BOAC livery, sat right in the middle. Honestly, if you're doing cross the pond, at least for the oceanic stuff, I wouldn't blame you for using text, really. I think I probably would if I was forced at gunpoint to do cross the pond. I would probably use text for the oceanic stuff, unless a controller really requested me to use voice, of course. But you'll get over the fear of talking to ATC. I still get a little bit of stage fright sometimes if it's been a while and I have to call for clearance. That's usually the hardest bit, just sitting there and actually calling for clearance in the first place. But you'll get over it. You just got to do it, and then keep doing it, and keep doing it, and eventually, you know, you get to a point where it's just a non-issue. During approach and stuff like that, you get scared. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously approach is the most difficult bit, because that's the part where the aeroplane can get ahead of you, but yeah, it's fine, dude. It's fine. You're on VATSIM. Nobody is expecting you to be an expert who knows exactly what he's doing, trust me, okay? There is no shame in getting things wrong on VATSIM. Everybody does, so... there's no shame in getting things wrong on Pilot Edge either. On Pilot Edge, you'll get things wrong and they will tell you what you got wrong and how to fix it in future. They're really nice about that, provided the frequency's not too busy. You know, everybody's learning. You've got to remember that everybody's learning. I'm long past the point where I got afraid of being told off, especially on PE. I actually welcome being effectively told off for doing something wrong, because it means I will learn what to do correctly, and I will probably remember it too, because it made me feel like jumping into a big hole in the ground. So hence I never forget to say climbing via the SID when told to climb via the SID when checking in with the approach controller, because Joe made a big deal out of it once when I forgot to do it, and I've forever since remembered that is a thing you need to do in the US. Are you talking about Victorville, Matt Flies? Oh, maybe that's not Victorville with the military plant. I'm not sure. I know what you mean, like the boneyards or whatever. You try voice this weekend. Well, go for it, man. It's good. Just, you know, make sure your mic is set up. There is a test thing you can do in vPilot and everything to make sure your mic doesn't sound like it's being digested, and you'll be fine. What's my ETA on arrival? Well, let me find that out for you. ETA is 23:34 Zulu. So, yeah, I'll be just about midnight here for me, actually, when we finally arrive. But that's okay. I've done later. But you can't wait to be told off with a Welsh accent. Oh, I know, I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be fantastic. Although, to be honest with you, at this rate, I'll be doing my actual fucking real-life PPL before Pilot Edge ever gets set up with that on this side of the pond, but we'll see. I've made inquiries at Saiwell. Things are maybe potentially in motion. Alright, stand by. I'm going to go switch on some lights. Be right back. Ugh. That sounded expensive. No, it's fine. It's cool. Alright, when I said switch some lights on, I actually in fact meant one energy saving bulb, because apparently my other lamp, the bulb's gone, so that's fantastic. Alright. Yeah, Cyanide, he gets lots of guys, but he normally streams Armour, so, but he does stream Flight Sim every now and again. I think he quite often gets like upwards of 1,000 and stuff like that if he's streaming Armour, so for him, mate, like 800, 900 reviews is surprisingly little. And somehow he's not partnered. That's what blows my mind, you know. I had a big conversation with Andy and Durka at Cosford about Twitch partnerships and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, there seems to be no flipping rhyme or reason to it whatsoever, because Sai isn't partnered. And yet there are guys with like 20 viewers on average that are partnered. It's like, what? What's that stuff coming off the wing? Condensation, I think. I'm not some kind of physicist though, so I don't know exactly. I don't even know if it should be there, honestly. I think it might be just a little bit of a glitch with the FSFX thing, but it does look kind of cool. This is absolutely not available for consoles, no, sorry. Apparently Active Sky 16 does actually work with this plane weather-wise, although there's not much weather to detect. There's like one cloud there, oh, and another one. And that's sort of it. There's a big-ass storm out there in the middle of the Atlantic right now, but we're way away from that for now. So I should be partnered with Twitch. I quite agree. I think Durka should be partnered with Twitch as well. I think there's a lot of people who want to be partnered with Twitch, but who aren't. But yeah, it's like we talked about at Cosford. It's all about the concurrent viewership. That's what they want to see, the average concurrent viewers. And I think what Twitch don't quite understand is that because the flight sim community on Twitch is so small, the amount of viewers you get can vary hugely, purely depending on who else is streaming that evening. So yeah, you know, like they see you stream and get maybe 100 viewers on a good day, and then the thing is they expect you to keep that up. over the course of an entire week. But you can't do that. Say, for example, if Matt decides to go live, I will probably drop about 20 to 30 viewers at the least. Or if Wriggles is online, our viewership kind of gets a bit split, and that sort of thing. Does Twitch contact you saying congrats, you're able to partner us? No, you have to apply. You send off an application. And then they typically respond with a sort of, oh, we'd love to partner you, but we have lots of other people we'd like to partner instead, basically. So, GG, try again next time. But sometimes they'll string you along for ages. They will, like they did with me and they did with Durka as well. They'll string you along. They'll send you messages like, oh, yeah, you're doing great. Reapply in 3 weeks. You're doing great. Keep it up. And they'll get to the point where they're like, oh, right, we're going to continue this process. We just want some more personal information from you. Like, they asked me for my address and real name and stuff like that, and I happily provided the information, and then they were just sort of like the next week reverted back to the default canned, oh, I'm sorry, we'd like to partner you, but there's other people we'd like to partner as well message. So it's an absolute fucking circus. What add-on gives you the shadows in the plane? No, there isn't that isn't an add-on. I'm using Lockheed Martin's P3D. This is the sim we're flying in right now. I know it says Microsoft FSX at the top there, but or the bottom now because they've changed the layout. But this is not FSX. This is not FSX. This is P3D. Right, well, it's coming up to 7 o'clock, so I'm going to need to go. I am afraid I'm going to need to go. It's been lovely sitting around talking to you guys about Cosford and about various bits of news and things like that. Does DirectX 10 Fix give you shadows in the Cockpit episode? I didn't know that. Huh. Regal's got partners from Twitch. Yes, I know. Well, kind of. He has declined now to do the part of it where he gets paid to do it. He's still technically partnered with Twitch, but he's not. He doesn't get any money from it anymore, basically. And that was his choice. He wasn't forced into that by Twitch or anything. Quite the opposite. That was his choice. But yes, anyway, so as I was saying, I'm going to need to go. As per usual, I'll be back for the arrival. I'm still slightly gutted that this won't be flown with Bav, but at the same time, never mind. There's plenty more routes to do, and we got the outbound leg, and that's really all I care about. Because as I said, I like seeing it all mapped on my map, on my profile with BA Virtual. That's honest to God the main thing. It really is. I just like having the routes drawn on the map. Look, I'll show you it. Hold on. I'll show you it so you can see what I'm talking about. My profile. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see, look, I've got a map of all the places I've flown to with BA Virtual, and as you can see, I've got one heading out to Bermuda there. And that's honestly all I really care about. I don't care about the hours. It would be nice to eventually get enough hours to fly Concorde with Bav officially, but that's never stopped me from flying Concorde before. So that's not an issue for me really either. I just like having this record here. I like having this record of all the places I've flown to, and now I've got the big red line drawn out to Bermuda. I don't particularly mind if we forget to log the return. That's not a problem. So I just like it. I like having the pins in the map. That's all it comes down to. Honestly, I've even got the ones down there in South Africa from the Comair trips I've done. So yeah. Anyway, there it is. There you go. That's all it is. That's all it is. I don't really mind. Fly to Hong Kong. That's on the to-do list. Yeah. Hong Kong, and at some point, Mungo is going to talk me into doing Singapore and then Sydney. And yeah, Buenos Aires is one of the really just excruciatingly long ones as well. The whole reason they don't give you partnership is because you are not nice enough to... of course, that was it. Miss Copilot secretly owns Twitch. That's clearly it. Oh, speak of the devil. Jesus, there he is.
You can teach
Hello, Mungo.
monkeys to fly.
I saw you
better than
streaming
that.
earlier, so I didn't expect you to get here until much later, but hello regardless. You're literally just catching the end of this. I'm about to fuck off, so... Yeah, I know Matt's done the Singapore, Sydney on his YouTube channel. That's actually one of the first airliner videos I bumped into on YouTube, and in fact, it's that specific video that actually made me think, ooh, this actually looks like it might be quite fun. So Matt's Singapore video, Singapore Sydney one, is actually responsible for all of this, actually, in a way, kind of. Not just that, but that was definitely the one that made me sit there and think, hang on a minute, this was kind of
You
cool.
can teach monkeys to fly better than that.
It was literally just, it just came up in a related videos bit, like on the side, because I was looking at something else, and it just popped up in there. I thought, why not? Because I was procrastinating at the time. I think I was supposed to be doing some actual work, and I just clicked on that, and then I watched a bit of it and was like, ooh, well, this is kind of cool. Previously, I'd never really understood the appeal, because Thane in ACG, obviously, he's been doing this for years, and he'd posted videos of it before and stuff like that, of him flying the NGX, and I just hadn't quite understood why people would do it. Just, you know, press a bunch of buttons and then fly from A to B in a straight line. It was only after watching that video and then some others after it that I was like, okay, I think I get it now. I should break... No, crash your face into a bus, mate. Just walk out in the street. Bus, in fact, hell, bus, car, motorbike, hell, even the curb. I don't mind. Just remove yourself from the equation and do the rest of the world a favour. Thank you very much. This is a flight sim. It's not a crash sim. I'm sorry. It's not happening. We're going to do Speedbird 1.5. Yes. Yes, we will. We will. I know. I'm just... Speedbird 1.5 is that flight, Huff Daddy. That is the flight that goes to Singapore and then onwards to Sydney. So... yeah, nothing happens, nothing explodes. That's like one of the funniest things, actually. Like at Cosford, like you would see loads of kids and stuff on the computers they had set up flying the planes, and you literally just see every 5 minutes or so, like you'd walk past one of them and you'd see some kid sat there at the flight sim with the joystick, and the first thing he'd do is just immediately try and crash the plane, and then get really disappointed when all they did was just bounce off the ground and carry on flying. It was funny as I was like, yep, that's what you get. Is it possible for there to be an actual systems failure? Yeah, there's like a tiny percentage of a chance for a system to fail or something, since I am using, you know, what do you call it, the persistent airframe thingy that PMDG have. And I am using bavware, so the plane does have a few hours on it from the previous guys in British Airways Virtual Flying it, but as you can see, it's only got 37 hours logged on it. It's nowhere near the point where things might start going wrong on it. So if you're waiting around for some sort of in-flight emergency, it's really not going to happen. Service-based failures, that's the one. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's the other thing, actually, before I do go. I got a couple of goodie bags full of stuff from Cosford as well, because if you ordered tickets online, you got a goodie bag of free shit, basically. Wow, that hard drive is really warm, because it's just... I had this magazine resting on it, and now it's really toasty warm. Anyway, yeah, you got a bunch of free shit, basically, and I had 2 goodie bags because I ordered a ticket for my dad because he wanted to check it out as well. I don't think he was that impressed, though. I don't think he quite understands this whole flight sim thing, really. He loves aeroplanes, but he doesn't like computers, so... But, so I got 2 bags worth of stuff. So effectively, what I'm thinking is I might do a giveaway for the second bag if anyone wants the stuff in there. I mean, if you want it, but stuff that's in it includes a copy of the Just Flight MD-81, MD-82 jetliner. It's just one of their F-Light ones. It's, you know, I've got the Rotate MD-80 for X-planes, so I'm not terrifically fussed, but, you know, there's that. I'll tell you what, actually, it's probably one of the only boxed bits of software I bought for ages that comes with a proper manual. So it's got that going for it, but... yeah, you've got that, a copy of PC Pilot with a disc with some demos on it and stuff like that. Bunch of stuff in here, mostly adverts, to be honest with you, actually, but there's a few cool articles. There's one in here which I was quite like, about sort of pilot maths. You know, like funny little things you can do, like calculating top of descent and calculating DME slant range, and then, you know, little bits of arithmetic for intercepting VORs more accurately, like you add 1 more nautical mile per 30 degrees of track change, that kind of thing. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, so I've got a free copy of PC Pilot. I have a free copy of something called a Sky Chaser, apparently. That is a label for a bit of clothing. How did that get in there? I don't know. An advert for X-Plane 11, which, as you can see, I can pre-order now and get 15% discount, and has a 25% sale with a voucher code on here for on the back, which I'm not going to show you, but for X-Plane 10, which I remind you, if you get X-Plane 10 now, you'll get X-Plane 11 for free, so now is as good a time as any. There's the Welcome to Flight Sim 2016 thing, with the map of the hall and all the store stands and stuff like that. Can you see that? I'm not sure. Hold on. Yeah, you can, kind of. Right. There's... there we go. A free delivery code for... Well, this one you can see is fine. It's just Flight Sim 16 or whatever. But for wired to fire, if you fancy buying a new computer for Flight Sim or something. PC Pilot subscription form, yeah, whatever. I think that's kind of it, actually. I can't find anything else in here. I think they said originally you were going to get a couple of free pieces of Aerosoft scenery, but I think they might have run out by the time I got there, which is why I didn't have anything of that nature. So, no free scenery for me, apparently, and not in the other goodie bag either, so... Mind you, I don't know, I haven't actually checked. Stand by. Stupid broken chair, stand by. Oh. Where have I put it? Oh, it's still downstairs, forget about it. Never mind. Ugh, I'll have to go and get it and have a look, but I think it's identical. I think it's the same stuff in there, so... I did have a brief glance, but is this a new release? Oh no, this thing's been out for ages, I think. This is FSX only as well. I mean, you could probably get it to work in P3D with a migration tool, but yeah, it's an FSX jobby. So anyway, yeah, I guess if anyone's interested in this stuff, I could do a little giveaway thing for the... What's that? Something just fell out. I dropped it. It was my man card, clearly. No, actually, it was the it was the Sky Chaser. Yeah, it's yeah. So I've got that. I've got that shit. If anyone's interested, I can do that. Anyway, am I streaming the whole flight? No, I'm literally about to go. Actually. Yeah, no, originally I thought it was that other new MD-80 DC9 thingy that got released on Just Flight a little while ago, but no, this is just the Just Flight F-Lite one. So, you know, not, well, it is what it is. Right, yeah, anyway, so that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it. Thank you for coming. I will see you again in... Well, let's see. Yeah, probably about 5 hours from now. I'll be back to stream the arrival. But aside from that, if you're probably not going to be here for that, and I wouldn't blame you. I will basically just say goodbye, and I'll be back streaming. Again, everything is so purple now. I've taken these off. Oh my god! Wow. I'll be back with another proper stream at some point in the near future. Maybe tomorrow. I'm hoping tomorrow. Actually, I know it's a Monday, but I would like to do. As I said, I want to get on Pilot Edge and do the new cat ratings, so that definitely is going to happen. There's basically 3 things I've got planned for the next few streams ahead of us. One is the cat ratings on Pilot Edge. One is the Q400. I want to go down to Australia and fly it with Qantas Link, or the Q400, because I just never fly the Q400, and I probably should. So would like to do that. I got a bunch of new Australian scenery, so. That could be fun, and also I want to get on FS Cloud and do a bit of a group flight at some point as well, because I never really do those, and they are really good fun. Obviously, I fly with Durka whenever he's doing a VFR group flight or whatever on FS Cloud, and they're actually really great fun. There's no ATC; it's literally just, you know, good old-fashioned multiplayer. We get in and we'll get in our planes and fly somewhere, and it's a good laugh. I think last time we did with Durka, we all flew B-17s into Palm Springs, and Durka braked too hard, and the thing nosed over, and then the physics went mental, so this B-17 started just doing cartwheels all over Palm Springs, and it was just the funniest shit ever. It really was. It was hilarious. In fact, I've got a screenshot of it. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Here we go. Here you are, yeah, so. Yeah, fun times were had for sure. I'd like to do that at some point. I did ask people on Twitter if they were interested in doing something like that maybe, and I got a few positive responses, so. Alright, see you, Gibbon. Toodaloo. Mailbag. Right. Anyway, yeah, enough stalling from me. Pun not intended. And I will see you later. So, in about 5 hours, give or take, I'll be back. So, have fun, everybody. Is there anyone I can host in the meantime? Probably ought to be. This time of the night on a Sunday. Oh yeah, there's quite a few people. We'll send you on to John Fly. We'll send you on to John Fly or Chewy maybe. No, we'll give you to John Fly. He's doing what is he doing? John Fly's viewer count is lower, so I figure it's probably fair enough if I send you his way.
Altimeter's 2800.
Whoa, hello. He is doing, well, his title says Flight Factor 767 East Coast shared cockpit with JSnap, but right now he's in a set in a caravan doing FS economy, I think, on Pilot Edge. So, yep. All right, I'm sending you to John Flight. Go say hello to him. He's a really nice bloke over in America. And yeah, he does lots of Pilot Edge stuff. So if you're interested in the whole Pilot Edge thing, which I've been talking about this stream, then you can go on there and probably see it in action, because I'm assuming he's on PE right now. So yeah, there you go. Or you can go say hello to Chewy. I don't really mind. I'm going to give John Vi the host, but you can go say hello to Chewy as well. He's also streaming the 777 by the looks of things. So yeah. All right. Cheers, everybody, and I will see you later if you're still around. Otherwise, catch you next time. Bye bye. Warning, high encoding CPU usage. Well, that can't be good, can it? Hello, fellas, welcome back. Nigam, Huff Daddy. Yeah, it was a bit of a quick 5 hours, to be honest with you. I think we had some good prevailing winds in the end, so... But, yes. Yes. How are we doing? And webcam activate! Hooray! How are we doing? Oh, and that's V-Pilot handily reminding me that I am, in fact, on VATSIM. Yep, we're on VATSIM, because there was control on it at Gatwick, but now there isn't, so there's really almost no point in us being on VATSIM, but fuck it, we're on there now, so never mind. Oh, there does seem to be a ground controller now. Well, I guess that's something. If that's far south, do you need an oceanic track? Well, I don't think so in our case, because none of the oceanic tracks were, well, they're all too far north for us, so... But hey ho, it's another night landing, so absolutely sod all to look at.
Boom, Sir Daisy.
JBS, thanks for the host.
It's enough to make you weep.
I don't know anymore whether or not these are automated or actually legit hosts. But I guess it doesn't really matter. Either way. So, we're inbound. TD's just over there past Dawley. I can show you. I mean, this is what... Look, this. I mean, this. Yeah, this right here, exactly. Hold on. Boobity boobity boo, boobity boo, boo. Where's the button? There it is. There. Look. See, those are all the nat tracks. Going east. Yeah. And obviously, as you can see, yeah, we were just way too far south for that. So, yeah, no nat tracks for us. Would have significantly lengthened our journey if we had gone all the way up there to join a nat track, to be fair, as well. So, yeah, probably for the best we didn't, eh? So, yeah. Negative on the nat tracks. For us. Kit Jones, good evening. Oh, the other thing I got from Cosford, by the way, I forgot to mention it. I got a little stress ball thing. I think it's supposed to be a stress 787, actually. But, whatever.
Boom, Sir Daisy. It's enough to make you weep.
How dare you start streaming now? I was just watching your approach on the Dubai to London video. Okay. It's alright. That's going to be a very similar affair. Obviously, we're going to Gatters tonight instead of Heathrow, but it'll be in the dark and... yeah. Similar sort of deal. We're landing on 08 right, I think, is what we're going for tonight, so... Good old 08 right. Is that what we left on? I think it was. Yeah, it was, so... Got my dressing gown on as well, because now it's dark here, it's got a hell of a lot colder. I have to put the heating on soon. Ugh, can't believe it, guys. Summer is officially over, like well and truly. If you think X-Plane 10 with freeware sceneries and P3D with freeware sceneries, who of them is the best? X-Plane, hands down. Like, not even a contest. X-Plane has such better freeware scenery than P3D does. P3D has almost no freeware scenery because most of the freeware scenery out there on the Microsoft side of things is for FSX or FS9. That's where all the freeware is on that side of things. It's, you know, there's a bit, and some of the bit that is there is quite nice, but nothing comes close to, for example, like Mr. X's airports for X-Plane. So, You want to try it again, Nick? I actually have 2 stress balls, like I said, because I had the second goodie bag, so I have like double stress balls. Yeah, you heard it here first. I have a pair of stress balls that you can squeeze. Right, anyway. Not to mention, if you buy X-Plane 10 now, you'll get X-Plane 11 for free. If you buy the digital download from obviously the Lamina site, you'll get X-Plane 11 for free. So that seems like a much more logical purchase to me, because you could buy P3D now, but P3D version 4 is coming out early next year, so you'd have to buy it all over again. And yeah, so I think X-Plane is your best bet, mate. There, if you're in for the cheaper option. Alright, well, let's go through some briefing crap, because I never normally brief myself enough, and then it's usually when I get ambushed by a controller who knows what he's doing and I don't know what I'm doing, and then we end up in a situation like Frankfurt. So let's do this, and then we can sit back and talk about random crap for a little while, because my LNAV and VNAV will take care of everything for us. Wonderful flying a computer, isn't it, really, rather than flying an actual aeroplane? How long did it take to download digitally? I suppose it depends on their servers. Certainly the Steam edition you can download just as fast as your connection will allow. So doesn't apply to the Steam version. I don't think so. No, just because of all the, with the Steam version, Valve wants to take their cut, and I don't think. Yeah, they'd have to negotiate all that with Valve first in order to make it work. In order to give you a key for X-Plane 11, so I think they're only doing it through their own website, which is fair enough, I guess. Arguably, getting it from their website is better than getting the Steam version, because it makes reinstalling and moving the sim to a different drive a lot easier than when you have the Steam version. Because the Steam version obviously makes lots of registry entries, which by default X-Plane never does. So. I buy Mafia 3? Oh fuck no, not even remotely interested. Anyway, so Alt 2 away over to here. So we're going to be taking the Willow 3 Delta arrival, which will take us over a nice tour of southern England, right over the top of the Isle of Wight. Down here from Bilney, Coomil, expecting flight level 180 at Coomil, and then Avant, and then Goodwood. Inbound to the Goodwood VOR, and that's the point when we were inbound Goodwood, really, we would contact approach, but they're not online, so forget it. And then we head over to Holly, and where we then go to Willow, which is a holding point. It's a published hold type of a deal, and then we switch over to ILS DME 08 right initial, which takes us from where the fuck's Willow? There it is. And then you go down, right down here onto final approach course, and then we switch to ILS DME. Then we switch to ILS DME 08 right final, which is here. And then that's when we begin our approach. We want to be down at 3,000 to intercept the intercept the glide slope at 3,000 feet, 8.6 miles from the runway threshold. And then there's your landing, and let's have a look at the ground chart as well, since this is something I always forget to do, and it bites me in the arse when I get off at a runway threshold I don't know the name of, and the controller asks me, where are you parking? So we're landing on a 08 right here, so we're going to aim to vacate. I think Delta would be nice, Delta 1 here, if not Charlie. But Delta 1 would be perfect, because we can get off there, cross 26 right at Romeo, and then just head on, bump straight down here to our stands, which are over in this area, right here. Right, we want to go up there onto Pier 5. on via Quebec and all that sort of good shit. So yeah, we're going to be aiming to vacate at Delta, or failing that Charlie if we're too slow. So good stuff. There's no way to get off earlier than Delta either, so we don't want to, you know, go completely mental with the auto brakes and the reverse thrust, because otherwise then we'll have to awkwardly taxi all the way right down to the end there, and that's no good. So we'll probably be planning auto brake 2 and idle reverse potentially there, I would say. Yeah, that's probably about right. As for the APC chart, the parking chart, yeah, we want to be up here at stand 558, which will be stand 58 on our scenery, because the old UK 2000 Gatwick scenery is a bit out of date, to be honest. So anyway, there you go. There is that's the approach brief. Done, dusted, fantastic, awesome. We can get the Gatwick 8 just briefly, jot down some weather info. If I switch on my COM 2 briefly, there we go. Hopefully, potentially. Let's. Hello. Oh, that's VHF center. We want VHF right. There
Echo,
we go.
Golf, Kilo,
Wow,
airport
that's loud.
information. Kilo 2220, Zulu, weather, wind 288 at 4, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 10, 2.8, QNH 1028. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Kilo, Echo, Golf,
Alright,
Kilo,
everything
Kilo.
we need. You can
airport
shut up now.
information. Kilo
You
2220,
it's
Zulu,
loud,
weather,
man.
wind.
Be quiet, thank you. Okay, so I got winds 288 at 4 knots. Temperature is 10, dew point 8, and QNH is 1028. So if we go up here and set our altimeter 1028. Hold on. There you go, 1028 is pre-selected on there. Our minimums. Our minimums. For a Cat 1 approach, we're going to be 400 feet barometric. Our minimums are baro. I cannot fucking see what I'm doing. Let's just hold on. Just one moment here. Where's the glare shield? Thank you. There we go. Better. Reset. Oh, it's set to Barrow 400 as it is. Fantastic. I suspect the last flight that this plane was done in he must have landed it at Gatwick, because, as I said, we're using Bavware, so we got the plane in a state that someone left it in, someone else in Bav, and I suspect the last place he flew to was Gatwick. Then if the Barrow is the minimums are already set to the minimums knob is already set to 400. Otherwise, that would just be plain spooky. So anyway, there you go. So let's set auto brake 2 on there. That's more or less it. Let's bring up the descent checklists. Recall. Checked. Notes checked. Auto brake set to level 2. Landing data. Good point. Init ref. Actually, we'll get you back to the legs page and we'll go to init ref. Flaps 30. Gives us a VREF of 137 knots. Our V approach will therefore be 142 knots. Which is good stuff. And I'll scale back the range on this a bit. In fact, scale it back a whole bunch. And put that view up instead, and we'll swap them over essentially. There we go. Lovely. Weather's up on both of them, I think. Yeah, it is. We'll put terrain up on this side instead. There we go. As per usual, we'll fly the approach from the right-hand seat and switch over to the left-hand seat for landing. So landing data and VREF and minimums are set. Approach briefing is complete. That's it. Approach checklist is next up. Okay, now we just sit on our asses and wait for a bit. We can set the MCP altitude knob down to flight level 180 to begin with. Jolly good. Hello, Matt. How you doing, mate? I'm just completely not paying attention to chat whatsoever during that entire sort of process there. I'm so shit at reading chat and actually doing this at the same time. I blame it on having been a YouTuber for years. I haven't quite still gotten used to the idea of having to check that over there. That there thing we call chat over on the side. Hello, Gris. Hello, Porto. Destiny, Alec the Novak. Gatwick. Well, we're going to Gatwick. We've just come from Bermuda. How did you guys get on Saturday then? I've heard stories. We'll put it that way. I've seen a couple of photographs. Matt. I have one photograph of a jug of some sort of delicious cocktail, and another of you with something balanced on your head. I'm not really sure what that was. I'll have to come and stay for the whole Saturday next year, for sure. I don't live that far away, but I think I might do it anyway. Because honestly, I mean, I got there fairly late to begin with. What the fuck's this yellow thing here? I've only just noticed that. Never mind. What was I saying? Anyway, yeah. So I got there reasonably late. Like I got there about 2:30, and then stuck around till basically the end of the show. But to tell you what, I just did not have enough time to actually stand around and talk to enough people. I really didn't. I kind of figured I would. I mean, I was a bit late because of traffic, but I didn't make that much of an effort to turn up really early because I figured, oh no, I'll have hours. It'll be fine. But so not the case. Absolutely not the case whatsoever. So. There's a bunch of guys who were there who I intended to see, but I just never got around to seeing them at all. Like Cuddly and Christian, never even once bumped into him. So, and I only saw Dave for about 2 freaking seconds. I saw him when I came in, and then he buggered off to get some food or something, and then I saw him at the end, and he was just about to leave. So. I've just been sat around in the cruise. I've mostly been watching Durka's stream, but I also watched someone put the X-Plane 11 seminar thing up on YouTube, and I've just been watching that. Holy fuck! I part of me wishes I'd gone to it, but I would have had even less time to actually sort of talk to people afterwards if I had done it, because they only fucking ended at like 4:30 or something like that. But it did look really, really bloody impressive, I've got to say. Like, I mean, yeah, like nice graphics, blah blah blah, all that sort of shit. But also other things, just little things like, and yeah, you know, I know they're overhauling the UI and that kind of thing, but just stuff like the fact that they seem to have built some sort of basic version of GSX essentially just into the sim. It's there, it works now. You get trucks moving around your plane and shit, and a pushback truck by default in the default sim. Like, what the fuck, man? And the default FMS, like, they've completely just redone the default FMS so it's not a completely useless box that's cluttering up your cockpit anymore. That's a really big deal, to be honest with you, because frankly, from what they showed off on that thing, it looks like It's basically XFMC, except better, and in the default sim. Like that must be a huge deal for like add-on developers, like the guys who make planes. And like, I'm not talking about the big companies who make their own shit, like PMDG or IXCG or whatever, but you know, the guys who make, you know, a plane basically by themselves and put it up for sale on the org store for like maybe $20 or something like that. That's a huge deal for those guys, like a massive deal. That I was really impressed by that, because I know everyone had been sort of saying they need to put a better default flight management system in the sim, and I didn't think they'd actually do it, but they totally have. I'm presuming that's Philip's work. It must be what he's been doing ever since he left IXEG. So yeah, I'm really bloody surprised. I think that's going to be a big deal, X-Plane 11. Actually, I think there are going to be a lot of folks who previously were a bit on the fence about X-Plane, but will probably jump on board actually with all this new shit. But we shall see. Alright, we're coming up on Bilney right now, which is the first point on our arrival. It's predicting us getting down to flight level 180, like, way sooner than we need to. Oh, no, it's not actually. Roundabout Kumo is pretty much correct, actually. I was reading the chart wrong. Nothing new there. Yeah, the new autogen's nice, although I already have that, to be honest with you, thanks to W2XP and GB Pro and Norway Pro and stuff like that. So I not amazingly excited about that, because like it kind of already exists in X-Plane 10, to be honest with you. All it relies on you being bothered to download it, essentially. Oh yeah, like the requirements will be higher, like there's no doubt about that, but sure, my computer should be able to get away with it. I mean, you already do have to turn quite a lot of shit down in X-Plane for it to run smoothly, but there's a lot of sort of corners you can cut in the rendering options if you want to make it run a hell of a lot better. So let's spend some sort of thoughts on backward compatibility. Well, we'll see. I mean, a lot of X-Plane 9 stuff worked in 10 when it came out. Hopefully it will be the same case here, but I think a lot of developers, I know FlyJSim has said that he you know, if he remakes new versions of his planes to take advantage of new features in X-Plane 11, you will have to buy them again. Even if it's not for a particularly huge fee, but you will have to buy it again. But yeah, no, I'm just slightly surprised and quite excited, to be honest with you, because it's just, they've just literally looked at all of the things people have been asking for and said, okay, well, let's do that then. And for some reason, that seems to be a rare fucking thing in the flight sim or just fucking, you know, gaming software world in general, actually. I cannot see shit out there, Captain. Vaguely make out some clouds, but it is dark as a badger's arsehole. Oh yeah, we have route data now, because I'm technically on BadSim, so that's nice, I guess. So the route command actually works now. Almost Apple-esque in their approach. Well, I suppose X-Plane kind of is like the Apple of flight sim, isn't it, really? I know Chevy would say as much. Right. Alright, that says a 180, although I've got the banana showing up on the screen every now and again for some reason. Let's take it down to Funky Town. No, flight level 130. Yeah, we can't do music, mate. This needs to go on YouTube without any mutes halfway through. TXKF, where is that? If you go to this wonderful website called Google, as it turns out, you can actually find out stuff like that. Well, you know, when you want to go right base from Goodwood, it's like nobody is around. Could we go? Yeah, we probably could just go straight from Goodwood, to be honest. We get down fast enough. If we whack out the old lever of shame and maybe open a couple of the side doors and maybe throw out a drag chute, we could manage it. Actually, I don't know how well this thing descends, to be honest with you, in a hurry. I've never had to do it so far since I started flying this thing. I don't know how much of a brick it is. That's what you do in real life, is it? Oh, fair enough. Get high speed as well, or do they, you know, waive the constraints? Hello, Rohan. Mungo here. Oh no, he's probably tucked up in bed, bless him. It's school night. Although he has weird weeks, doesn't he? Because he goes to a posh boarding school, so fuck knows if it really is a school night for him. Want to divert to EGHH? Not especially. I mean, this isn't actually being logged with BAV because I'm a bit of a fucking idiot and forgot Phoenix, but nah. Knowing my luck, we'd get to EGHH and we'd have no runway lights again. So, oh, I know, Snatzo. It's a bit tragic, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, at least he has a video to point all the trolls to in the near future. But, I mean, I still think Marcus's response was probably the best, where he was just like, well, so why did he try and fly into the building? Like, good point, Marcus. I don't even know where EGHH is. I genuinely... Oh, it's Bournemouth. It's on the chart, yeah. God of Hockey 88, thanks for the follow. Where is Bermuda? It's in the North Atlantic. Not far from America. What the? Oh shit. Alright. It's brick time.
You can teach monkeys to fly better than
Jesus H. I forget these bloody Boeings don't go down when you just adjust the knob, do they? We've got to press altitude intervene. Alright. Speed brakes. Away! I can see roads and shit. Fantastic. So we were supposed to be at flight level 130, sorry, at Goodwood. Max 250 knots. Not sure that was going to happen. Delay vectors, please. Also, apparently, the... Oh, what? Is the transition altitude wrong? Looks like the transition altitude is wrong somewhere. I don't know where you put that in on this fucking thing. Where do you put the transition altitude in on a Boeing? Let's climb.
You can
Who fucking knows? Never mind.
monkeys to fly better than that.
Why are you spooling up? No! You bad plane. I hit flight level change. Surely you should just fucking cut the throttles and pitch for speed, you lunatic thing. Don't make me get old 727 on your ass and pull out the auto throttle and do it myself. Bastard thing.
You can teach monkeys to fly better than that.
Oh, it's on the forecast. Oh my god. See, this is the thing. This is the thing. On the Airbus, you have a handy little page where you put all this useful information in at once. But in this bloody, you've got to flick through it like an Argos catalogue, haven't you? Just set forecasts. Ah, yeah, there it is. Fuck's sake. Why don't you just do VS? I could just do VS, I suppose. That's the fail button though, isn't it, really? The VS switch on any of these autopilots. Like if you've got to reach for the vertical speed knob, then you know the plane has failed, essentially. Now what are you doing? You leveled off. Now you're going down again. Were you coded by Jar Design or something in secret, this particular version I'm flying? Okay, yeah, it's leveled off at 13,120 feet for some reason, and now it's going down again. Like, what? I swear to God, just give me an altitude arm and manual throttles, and we'd be fine. But no, I'm arguing with a computer instead. Alright, fuck it. Awooga, awooga, dive, dive, dive. Oh, Durka Raid, fantastic. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Durka, if you're here. Great stream, mate. I had to duck out at the end, I'm afraid, because I was getting a little bit close to Blighty here and couldn't really stall any longer. Gordon Ramsay on that fucking FMC. What are you? You're an idiot sandwich. I kind of want to do that in Photoshop now. I just want to get a photograph of a 777 with a couple of slices of bread smack between the cockpit. Right, well, we might have aimed for a right base from Goodwood. We're more doing a right downwind from wherever. But, okay. It does not fucking descend that fast, does it? Unless I've somehow not got the... Oh, okay, right. Well, not having the speed brake actually even out in the first place will definitely help. Now we're dropping like a stone. That's more like it. Yeah, that's what I wanted to begin with. Oh, yes. Where is the bloody seatbelt thing? There you are. I forgot to put any fucking range rings in. Stand by. This one.
Boom, Sir Daisy. It's enough to make you weep.
Durka, thanks for the host, mate. Nice one. Right, there we go. That'll help. Let's put in another one for 4. Jolly good. Right, we've cut a few corners. It's good. It's all good. Oh, shit.
You can teach.
Active runway for landing and departing at Gatwick is 26 left. Since when? Ground just... Oh, bollocks. Anyone up for a circling approach?
Boom, Sir Daisy. It's enough to make you weep.
Can we do a circling? We can, actually, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I know ground technically can't tell me where to land, but if the active is that and everyone else is landing on that, then you know I don't want to fucking play chicken with some guy coming the other way now, do I? He's politely requesting that I, you know, land on the active runway. Yes, I know the speed brake's extended, thank you. And frankly, that's fine. So I'm gonna do my best to comply with that. I don't have to, but I might as well.
You can teach monkeys to fly better than that.
Besides, the circling approach is kind of fun. Technically 08 right, it's still in use railroad. Well, that's what I thought. But, whatever. opportunity to whack out the autopilot and do some of that pilot shit, as they say. So we'll fly this down to 1,100 feet, I think, apparently, and then we'll start a circling approach of some description. I don't have a fucking Wikipedia page in front of me on how to do circling approaches, so I'm just going to go off memory, which is, in our case, sort of, I don't know. We'll make it up as we go along. Visualize traffic departing 26 left. Right. So there is. He should end up over me, shouldn't he? Rate he's going. He should be making a turn relatively quick too, I would imagine. Depending on where he's going, I suppose. Yeah, but he's now officially above me. Okay, he's not going to be a factor. Thank Christ. Alright. Down on 26 level. Well, that's actually the idea. I will basically, we'll follow this down to about 1,100 feet, the glide slope, and then once we're at 1,100 feet and I can verify I can see the airport and the runway, I will make a left base for 26 left. And a 777. Because why the fuck not? There he goes. It's probably not something you see in real life terrifically often. Fantastic. Good old VAT sim. Okay, let's I'm way too fast. I kind of got away from me a bit. We can fix it though. No auto land, I know. That's not what we're going to be doing. I'm pretty sure, is it Shift Z I assigned to disconnect the autopilot quickly? I think I did. We can live in hope. Or was that the NGX? Oh shit, I think it was the NGX, not this. Oh, shut your face. Thank you. Right, I've got the plane now. That's 1,100 feet. We can see the field. I don't want to get a flight path vector up on this thing. Not sure, honestly. Whatever. I'll see what Dave was saying about this thing the other day about being tricky to trim. It's an annoying halfway house between a 737 and an A320. We may want to take this a little bit wide. Doing what I'm thinking. Dude, this is called a circling approach. It's a real life procedure. Like, chill out, man. This is the benefit of actually having learned how this fucking works on Pilot Edge and etc. Actually know that you can do things like this. I mean, questionable whether or not you could do it at Gatwick in a 777, but it's on the fucking chart for Category D aircraft, so I don't see any reason why not. Johnny'd be the authority, really, but whatever. Okay, speed brake's armed. Okay, get all the lights and crap like that sorted out prior to me having to make this turn. Alright, here comes the fun bit. Oops, yep, bank angle. Great procedure to be doing in the dark. Not sure you'd want to do this in the dark. On reflection. Just you watch me fucking grease this in. Make you all look really stupid. Not gonna happen, is it? Alright, turn was a little on the wide side, but alright.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
Also a little fast.
Don't sink. Too low.
Oh dear.
Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Co-pilot, that doesn't exist. Could you silence that warning, please?
Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
There we go.
Too low. Terrain. 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 Too low. Terrain.
Oh, get wrecked, chat. Get fucking wrecked. Alright, reverse is stowed. We shall exit here at, what is this? We briefed for 08 right, so this is, I think, Foxtrot Romeo, yeah. Oh, steady on, steady on. Alright, we'll get those flaps in. Seem rather proud for landing an arcade plane. There she is! There she fucking is, right on time. Hello, Miss Co-Pilot. How are you doing? Do I even need to ask? I can already smell the salt from here. Alright. Let's whack on that parking brake and get in touch with the ground. 121.8. Yes, we are indeed on Foxtrot Romeo, as best I can make out. So, right. Gatwick ground, good evening. Speedbird 2232 on Foxtrot Romeo, looking for stand 58 if possible.
Two 232 seconds with 10 seconds for Gatwick.
We're on Foxtrot Romeo and we're looking for stand 558 if possible. Speedbird 2232.
Speedbird 2232, taxi stand 558 via Juliet and Quebec.
Stand 558 via Juliet and Quebec, Speedbird 2232. Thanks very much. Okay. Let's go. Yep, Juliet and Quebec, nice and simple. Welcome to Gatwick also, he says. Nice to be here, thank you. I don't know if you're watching the stream. If you are and you logged on to give me some control after landing, thank you very much, actually. Mega appreciate that. Oops, wrong switch. There we go, got it. Lovely. Oh shit, that's not the centre line. This is the centre line. That's not a centre line. This is the centre line. I don't think that's the first time I've had that at Gatwick either. I'm having a bit of weird sense of deja vu right now. Right, well. Let's pretend we did the approach checklist and the landing checklist. Override. What? How does it send me back to... okay, why did you send me back to descent? Yep, just... Checklist is being fucking bizarre right now. Okay, it's on the shutdown right now, that's what I needed. It's been misbehaving all flight, actually. It must have been left in a weird state by the last guy. Oh, we're back on the Instagram thing, are we? Very good. Very good. Didn't I tell you that joke got annoying, Wayne? I think that was your first mistake, Miss Copilot, if I'm honest with you, telling him the joke got annoying. But, you know. Alright, I'm not an X-Plane, so I don't have my super duper cheating airport navigator plug-in, so I actually sort of have to look where I'm going. I do love that plug-in. How's Twitch partnership going at this time? Basically nowhere. It's not going anywhere since last I applied.
Good morning, 86, 3 Bravo Delta, Airbus C19 on stand 109er, request clearance through Nantes. EV63 Bravo Delta.
Congrats for the crazy approach. Oh,
grouse,
thank you. You see, all those sessions I did at Cardiff, flying circuits in this, visual circuits in this plane, clearly paid off. Like, you know, it ought to be fucking mandatory. Like every VATSIM pilot should start with any plane that they want to fly on VATSIM doing visual fucking circuits for this reason.
Correct QH1028 report for pushing stop.
There are, you know, some of the fucking mouth breathers you come across. If they were asked to do a circling approach for 26 left, they probably would have crashed. Like, let's be honest. I'm not trying to big myself up here at the minute, either way, to be honest with you, because what I just did was not particularly special. Quebec's the next left, by the way. I am an idiot, let's not forget this. Well, I don't think we have any model planes, but we do have stress balls, because I'm pretty sure you're all going to need one after that. Right. Find this co-pilot. You know what? When I fly the Flight Factor 777, I'll do a circling approach in that as well. You happy? Probably. No, of course you're not happy. Like, why am I even asking? Evening, Boeing man. Are we in London? Well, we're at Gatwick, which is kind of London, right? It's like discount London.
EV63 Bravo Delta, request mission start. EV63 Bravo Delta, pushing start through...
Alright, we said 558 because that's what it's
28.
in real life, but we're actually looking for 58 on this scenery.
Outer space 16H1028, EV63 Bravo Delta.
Unless I've already passed it, in which case... who gives a shit? But there it is, yeah, 58. Oh, bollocks, I forgot about. Always forget this. You know what, GSX, go fuck yourself. It's like page 1 of 13 and it doesn't give me a next button. A poo! I forgot a poo! No! How could I forget a poo? Never mind. We shall cheat like a champion, of course. Actually, that might be good, to be honest with you. Although I think the jetway goes to entryway 2, doesn't it? Screw it, that'll do. Right, disarm that. Just waiting for the APU running message. Good night, Durka. Have a good one, mate. What is a poo? APU, auxiliary power unit, but ever since I watched Simfest stream and they call it a poo, I just haven't been able to get it out of my head. Apu is running, fantastic. Dome light. Super play, there we go. Nice one. What attracts me to flight sims? The fact that I love aircraft in general. I love fucking aeroplanes. I said this earlier in jest, but when we were actually at Flight Sim Con, I think Gibbon and myself were probably some of the few people in the room that were actually walking around looking at the aeroplanes. But I just fucking love aircraft, I do, and obviously that means I love trying to fly them in Flight Sim. I'd make a pretty bad job of it most of the time, but it doesn't deter me. Right, GSX, deboard me please. British Airways, obviously. And the cargo. Has the jetway managed it? Okay, yeah, no, it still failed. To be fair, it failed when we left Gatwick in the first place, honestly, but never mind.
Delta, taxi holding point Alpha 3, runway 26 left, via Papa, Zulu, and Alpha.
This all looks okay, to be
Alpha
honest.
3
Yep,
26
it's
left,
fine.
via Papa, Zulu, and Alpha, Easy 6, 3, Bravo
Parking
Delta.
brake is set. Weather radar should... it's off on the left. Did I put it off on the... Okay, no, it's not off. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Sorry. There we go, now it's off. Then there's the secure checklist. Adiro and the packs. And the emergency lights. Gonna have to spend 20 minutes looking for the things this time. Packs are off. Job done. Alright, let's reset that. Because I'm pretty sure the last guy didn't reset it, and that's why the checklist was so fucked this time around. What else? We can turn off traffic. Turn off center on that side. Traffic off. Reset the minimums. And the VORs can stay on. This we can tune over to Unicom for the next fella, and ground connections, set the wheel chocks, connect the ground power, turn off the APU, and I guess all the lights can stay pretty much as they are as well, really. Everything else looks fine. We've done the shutdown checklist, so that's the bare fucking minimum of what we need to do. But there you go, yeah. And we've left. There you go. If they're using Active Sky, they'll have Active Sky on COM too as well. Nice one. I'll leave that on FS Actions. This will set it back to the. Well, there you go. Pausing it. There you go, ident, and yeah, there we go. Put ident on both of those. We'll have the FS Actions thing open on there. Except he's going to want to go into PMDG setup to get his panel state in the first place. So, alright, there you go. See, I'm being nice. I'm being considerate of the pilots that will come after me. In fact, I will go ahead and load it up there. PMDG setup. There you go. You can go straight into panel state and load it up. Yeah, you see, I'm nice like that, and I'm even going to reset the clock, because again, I'm just wonderful like that. What else have I missed, Miss Co-Pilot? Since you this is something you love to complain about. Is there anything else I should change for the benefit of my my peers who may receive the aircraft after myself? The next guy, yes, that's the so I've been over this before, but we are using a thing called bavware today, and basically the idea is all of the 777 airframes in BA Virtual, you have the option to install bavware, and that essentially turns them all into persistent airframes that everyone logs their hours on, and therefore the panel state as well. So as you can see, GViv here has got 37 hours logged on it, not including the flight we just did. You've got all the different maintenance checks and how far until it needs to have one of these done, which involves one of the senior captains taking it over to Cardiff to get it fixed. You've got all the different systems in here and how many hours until they need servicing, and so on and so on and so on. And yes, when we're done here, once I've exited the sim, I'll export a panel state into bavware, and when the next guy in Bav loads up his bavware and wants to fly Viv, then he will receive the aircraft exactly as I have left it. Dave's tough, Phoenix, very good, Crop Pro, very good. So yeah, wasn't really looking got, but yeah, all looks fine to me. even turn off the nav and logo lights. Why not? Yeah, I agree. It's pretty cool. The G-Rays scheme I've used previously, is that from Bav? Yes, it is. It is. It's from a livery pack that's on the BA Virtual forums. So rusty rust bucket rays. Gotta love it, but technically it's not a. It's a Heathrow hull. It's not a Gatwick one. So I switched it out for Viv here on the return leg because Mungo got very annoyed with me for flying a Heathrow plane from Gatwick, because apparently that's like a cardinal sin or something. Take my scope out at threat level 350 and turn the packs off. Let's see how long her saltiness lasts. I'm pretty sure that would cause her saltiness to reach critical mass, actually. Hello, Jaredan. So that's kind of it, really. We're just sitting around shooting the shit at this point because we're done. Just looks wrong without the logo light on. Oh, that's the... No. There we go. There you go. Nope, they don't use that one, do they? Okay, fair enough. Perfect. Oh, go away, as I said to a commenter on one of my videos the other day. Some fucking... I know... I don't want to name names, but he's a guy who I've seen commenting on other videos and streams and things who... It's just a bit of a fucking twat, if I'm honest. Just came on one of the Concorde videos, I think, and just left a comment that was literally all lowercase, no punctuation. What an awful aircraft. I was just like, just go away. You waste of a human being. Alright, have that. Cheers, man. Right, what is going on elsewhere in the world of Twitch? Val Dude is streaming. He'll be doing his VFR and ortho scenery porn, basically. Literally, what an awful aircraft. I'm pretty sure that's almost exactly what he typed. Yeah, I can't be asked to get it up right now, but yeah. And it wasn't Duke or anyone like that. I know that much. Where are we flying to? We just arrived, mate. We just got here from Bermuda, mate. We're not flying anywhere. We're just sitting around awkwardly as I think of things to say before I kill the stream and say goodnight. I'm not particularly tired, to be honest with you, but it is 1 o'clock in the morning, so I don't think I'm going to be going anywhere now after this. This week, though, like I said, we will be tackling the Pilot Edge cat ratings. That is going to be happening. I might even do it tomorrow if I can, because I know that 1800 Pacific, I think, Keith is doing a workshop on the cat ratings, so we can have a go at it, and then later on you'll essentially be able to go and watch Keith tell you exactly how it should be done and explain anything you don't understand. So that could be quite fun. So I think that might be what we do tomorrow, if I actually get the spare time to stream. But yeah, we'll have a go at those. Did I try Uni's thing yet? Uni's thing? Might have to be a bit more specific. I suppose the answer is no, if I'm not sure what you're talking about. Am I the fellow that sometimes does shared cockpit with Matt? I've done shared cockpit with Matt once, but his sim crashed halfway through, so it almost doesn't count. No, probably not. I think you're probably thinking of some. I don't know how on earth you could get me confused with Squirrel, but maybe you're thinking of him, or Dave, as in Wriggles. Probably Dave. Yeah. Clouds and stuff. No. If he sent me it, I'm afraid it's gotten lost in a big old pile of stuff. Classic example. Rush sent me a Whisper at some point recently, and it never showed up. He sent me, he sent me 2 Whispers at 5:32 a.m. earlier this morning, like yesterday technically now, and yeah, that just didn't show up for me. For fuck's sake, Twitch. Yeah, all my emails and private messages and shit always get buried under a massive just other crap. So no, he didn't send it to me yet. I'm hurt, Unicorn. Why am I not on your Christmas card list anymore? Anyway, so yeah, welcome to Gatwick from Bermuda. Hope you enjoyed your flight. Where are we going to go next? I don't know, really. Maybe Moscow if I'm feeling adventurous. Alright, Destiny, cheers, man. Moscow, JFK, perhaps. Although, if I'm going to go to JFK, you might as well fucking take Concorde, right? There's always Tel Aviv in X-Plane. Moscow tonight. Oh, no, not tonight. No, I'm just thinking of next in the vague future. Drizwiki UUEE is pretty nice. Yeah, that's Baku, right? Do they fly a triple to Baku? I don't know. They used to fly an A321 to Baku. Unfortunately, that was right. Like Drizwiki, or how the fuck you pronounce it. They made this beautiful scenery, and then BA stopped flying to Baku. And it was like, well, okay, thanks, BA. Let's narrow it down to 772, because I don't have the expansion, because I'm a pleb. JFK, Orlando. Of course, that's a bit of a long one. MMUN. Where the heck's that? Don't know. TBPB. I'll be in the Caribbean somewhere, I'm sure. Oh, Barbados, probably, actually. I think. KTPA. Not a clue. Bermuda, we just did. TAPA. Again, don't know. MROC. Don't know. Oh, there's what's it called? The place we once flew with the Comair schedules, you know, down in the South Pacific or South Atlantic even. I was going to say Ascension Island, but that's not it, no. Her name's Greet. Oh, it's pink at my end, I think. She's not so much of a special snowflake that she's actually set a special colour for her name. Cape Town. Another 7471. It's Saint something or other. Or is it? Mauritius. I think it's Mauritius, actually. Yeah, I think that's what it is. FIMP. It's 11 hours and 50 minutes, but I do know that there's some nice scenery at the other end of it. Freeware scenery there, I think. It's Montreal. That's 7 hours. That's not bad, actually, Montreal. We could do that. I've got scenery for it as well. Am I going to stream anything spoopy for Halloween? I don't know, actually, maybe. I sure she won't be out getting drunk and socialising. So, you know me, I don't actually have a life, so.
You can teach monkeys to fly better than that.
I need to avenge the crash at Burbank. I do, actually, I do, yes. And since I have a version of the IXCG whose auto brakes haven't been cut, we can actually probably do it at some point. Maybe we'll do it after we've got bored of the cat ratings, actually, since we'll already be on Pilot Edge. We'll just jump in a Southwest, whatchamacallit, and fly to Burbank. But the problem is, I don't necessarily want to stream the IXCG at the moment, because whenever I stream something, I'm kind of promoting it in a way, really. And at the minute, the IXCG, I genuinely can't recommend anybody buy it, because the release version of it out right now is fucking broken. I've said this a million times before, but it's genuinely broken, so I don't want people watching my stream and thinking, oh, this is a good looking plane, I'm going to go buy it, and then being really fucking annoyed because their version of it is broken and mine isn't. So, you know, it's, yeah. SBGL. Where I deal with that. All these weird, that's the problem with long haul, I don't recognise any of the goddamn ICAO identifiers. At all. Philadelphia, but apparently the sub-Philadelphia scenery is a bit shit and laggy and not good. Maybe, I think Montreal's probably the next one. I fucking hate oceanic procedures, but Montreal might be the next one we do. Ooh, they do direct from Heathrow to San Francisco. That'd be kind of fun, actually. We could jump on a Pilot Edge for that. Like at the end, you know. They go direct to LAX, or is that just an A380 sort of a thing? You see, all the really cool, really long destinations, they're all A380 and 787 ones. Most of the 777 routes are kind of boring, if I'm honest. I mean, there are some good ones for sure, but, you know. I want to do that one that goes to San Diego, but they switched that to a 747 recently, so I can't do that. Oh well. We'll think of something. I want to have another go at the TriStar, to be honest with you, but as I said, there's every chance the thing will just goddamn crash halfway through the flight. And if you... The problem is as well, like I tried reloading an FSUI PC autosave, and it immediately crashes again if you try to, so... San Diego's runway never seems long enough on approach. No, it doesn't. And then when you actually landed, it doesn't seem as short as you thought it was. It's sort of... It's an odd one, that. You come in and you're thinking, oh god, I'm way too fast, there's almost no runway at all, and then you're actually on, then once you're on the ground and you're decelling, it's like, I'm not sure what I was panicking about, to be honest. It's sort of slightly embarrassing as you grind to a halt with maximum auto brake and about halfway down the runway, and you just think, well... Version 1.1 is probably out in December. Version 1.1 of what? X-Plane 10 aircrafts are broken, even payware. No. The FlyJ sim jets are not broken. I know I'm grasping at straws a bit here, but I think you will find the 727 and the 737-200 are effectively perfect. There's nothing wrong with them. I mean, you can blame maybe the XFMC that you get to work with. The 727 is a bit wonky sometimes, but that's technically not part of the plane. That's just a third-party thing that you can have working with it if you want. So, and the Tupolev isn't broken either. Tupolev's pretty much flawless too. In fact, all of Fearless's stuff is, except when, you know, the X-Plane devs do an update and it breaks something, but then that's not really Fearless's fault. Find you a single plane in flight sim that isn't broken. Right, what's broken with this one then? What's wrong with this? And I mean legitimately broken. The flight model is shit is not a legitimate argument. I'm not going to accept that from you. Because one way or another, you can probably find a way to apply that to every plane in the sim. Tupolev is getting a cockpit retexture. Is it? I didn't think it needed one. I thought it was alright. Fair enough. They should do an April Fool's one where they paint it Boeing beige inside. Oh, nice. Yeah, that does look good, actually. Fair play. Tupolev Reality Pack. Ooh. Oh my god, look at the lime green on the walls. That's really quite sort of... Oh, it kind of makes me want to either smile and also vomit at the same time. CLB engine... My engine behaviour is wrong. Unless it was my mistake. Quite possibly my mistake. I mean, think about who you're dealing with here. Alright, well we've pretty much run out of things to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That was a great flight. That was quite a fun approach as well. I hope you all enjoyed it. And it's we're coming up on 1:20 in the morning here, so I'm going to fuck off. I will give Valdudes a... Let me just double check there isn't anyone that I thought I was following, but I'm actually not, who's currently live. No, look at that. I'm like top of the FSX. Top section. I'm literally like the guy with the most viewers. It's a weird sight. Yeah, no, I'm going to send you along to Valdudes, I think. He's just literally flying VFR and staring at all the gorgeous photo scenery he's built. So, good fun, really chilled out dude. If you're still up at, 1:20 in the morning, actually, his stream's a pretty good one to go to. You don't need to be entirely awake to enjoy it, so... And I'm still on VATSIM, shit. We get off before Sup comes along and is like, why are you sitting here not moving? That is against the rules. Like, on IVAO that fucking happened to me, didn't it? I parked up at Copenhagen, shut down the sim, and then their fucking, client kept running even though I'd closed the sim, and so it had me sat at Copenhagen in as far as their network was concerned for the entire night, and I got told off for that. I was like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do, man? Come on. When I exit the sim, the client should disconnect as well. Come on. This isn't fucking rocket science. Do I have my Twitch partnership yet? Nope. Negative. November Oscar Papa Echo. Good to meet you over the weekend. Take it easy till next time. Good night. Yep, same to you, Gibbon. We had a great little chat, mate, actually. And thanks for the tea as well. Yeah, no, Cosford was fantastic. I can't wait till next year. I'm going to turn up earlier and stay much later next time, I think. Didn't get to talk to as many people as I wanted to, so we'll remedy that next year. I might even try and possibly maybe convince some of my ACG buddies to come down and set up a stall. Actually. They were toying with the idea this year, actually, and I think what I might do is I might do that. So if I can get Geordie down there, and maybe one or two of the others like Bunny or Bully, or Ashraf. Ashraf will fucking turn up. He'll turn up to anything. So yeah, let's see if I can do that. Actually, that might be a good idea. That'd be a bit different. I mean, some people were complaining there wasn't any DCS at the Flight Sim show, but see if we can do something about that. Yeah, plans are forming in my head. That's always dangerous. How did my dad like it? Oh, he loved it. He loved it. He spent a good few hours wandering around the museum and checking out all the jets and things. He discovered an entire hangar, which I didn't even realise was there, which had a fucking ME-163 Comet and all sorts of crazy shit in it. So I missed that. I'll have to check that out next year as well. But yeah, he fucking loved it. He had a little look around the Flight Sim bit, was a bit confused and just left. Went back to the museum, but he thought it was great as well, so everyone was a winner. Yeah, Miss Co-Pilot. Oh, why don't you stream? Why? You should stream. Let's see if you're the hot shit you think you are. I can't wait to see you land 500 feet per minute. Have all your credibility go out the window. That's probably why she doesn't stream, actually. She's so shit. She doesn't want to humiliate herself. Clearly. And we'd be able to hear her accent too, so the kind of where does Miss Co-Pilot live, well, where is she from sweepstakes would be kind of over. Oh, Chevy been telling you to stream as well. Well, yeah, well, he's right. So I don't say that often either, but he's right. Get on getting that ASAP. Yeah, I know, I'm trying, man. I'm trying, but they just keep saying no, so just ask people who are you smart co-piloted with. Your accent is flawless. I'll be the judge of that. Get streaming, damn it. And Dr. Nerd Rage. I thought he was going to come back and start streaming again, like ages ago. He said he was going to come back and start streaming again. He was working on some graphics for it and everything. Where's he gone, actually? Where is Nerd Rage? He's dropped off the face of the bloody planet. I hope he's alright. I mean, your snarky remarks are great, Miss Co-Pilot, but I miss his, really. You're looking forward to the presidential debate tonight? I don't. Oof. What was that joke that I saw someone say on Twitter earlier? Are you watching the debate tonight? Nope. Why? You clearly don't get as many channels as I do. On that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, have a good one. I will be back hopefully tomorrow. No promises, but the plan is to do it tomorrow. We'll tackle the cap ratings and stuff like that. Other plans for this week include the Q400 because I paid a silly amount of money for that and never actually flew it. And also the think brain. What are you doing? Oh yeah, some sort of FS Cloud group flight because I'd like to start doing some of those as well. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I bid thee farewell. Have fun, toodaloo, all the rest of it, and I'll host Valdude as well. So feel free to go say hello to him and tell him I sent you while you're at it. So have fun, everybody. Ta-da!